You took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Athletes know how important it is to stay hydrated. But did you know there are other ways to hydrate besides just drinking water? In fact, milk is a great hydration option because it actually contains water, as well as electrolytes that are lost when your body sweats. So consider taking milk along with you to your next game or competition and enjoy the taste of greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
You train, you sweat, you practice, you go for the gold, you give 110%, but most of all, you aim for greatness. And milk is the performance enhancer that can help get you to your goal. Trusted by athletes and backed by science, there's a healthy helping of greatness in every refreshing glass of milk. So let nature's original sports drink help quench your thirst for greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Welcome on a Friday night. It's Rigby, Idaho, and this is quarterfinal action of the Idaho High School Activities Association High School Football State Championships. Rigby High School 8-1 on the regular season as they welcome the Golden Eagles from Capital out of the Boise Valley. 7-3 as they come in. I'm Lance Taylor, my broadcast partner for tonight, Josh McGauley. Josh, we have a couple teams here. Well, I guess the way to say it is there's more unknowns in this matchup than there is knowns. They don't really have opponents in common this year for the most part. I think we're going to spend the first part of the game with both teams kind of going to their guns, doing everything that they can do early on to try to set the tone in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been looking forward to this matchup for a while now, since we heard about it for the past week, and some good X factors in here, for both sides.
There certainly is. As we look at the game for Capital coming in, they average just under 100 yards a game in rushing. Most of those yards are picked up by Jacob Olson, and their passing game about 287 yards a game. Their great quarterback, Maxim Clark, he throws for about 280 of those. This is a team that are coming off a really good win, 44-13 win over Lewiston, a game that most people picked them to lose. And putting up 44 points on a good Lewiston team and holding them to 13 was very profitable for them. Of course, it moved them on here to play against Rigby tonight. So that's their key win. However, their 3 losses on the season come in conference to Meridian, Mountain View, and Bora. The loss to Meridian was 35-0, 6-24 to Mountain View, and 19-24 to Bora. Not a very good Bora team, really, for the most part. However, Capital, has those 3 losses, so their only signature win coming is against Lewiston. We go to the other side of the ball, and of course, you have Rigby, who spent some of the year at the number one ranked team in the state. Coming into the state tournament, they were actually ranked number 2. It went Mountain View, Rigby, Rocky Mountain, Highland, and Eagle in that order for the rankings. That, of course, is the media rankings as the coaches poll finished the week before. As we look at them, of course, quarterback Tiger Adolfo, he's a commit to Weber State University, a FCS school just down the road in Ogden, Utah. Taylor Freeman, he is the beneficiary of most of the receiving that comes from Adolfo. And, of course, you can't talk about Rigby without talking about big Talon Togiai, 6'6", 290 pounds, a Division I commit to Brigham Young University, who just accepted an invite to the Big 12 Conference for 2023.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of star athletes committed for the next level in that Rigby team, and Capital is come in and trying to upset them like last week for Lewiston.
Well, we talked about Taylor Freeman, the great receiver. He's had an offer from Idaho State University. And then, of course, Logan Fredrickson, the great outside linebacker. He is a Montana State commit. The ball is kicked off by Capital as Rigby won the toss but deferred to the second half. Ball goes into the end zone, and now we'll be able to look at the Rigby offense. It was Capital that won and deferred to the second half. So we will start out with Rigby. So we're going to see Adolfo right off the bat.
Yeah, we're going to see what this Rigby offense can do. They last time they were out, they didn't have the showing that they wanted against that Madison team. They got the victory, but it was a little rough on their side, and they're going to come in and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Well, and coming off of their final regular season game, Rigby lost to rival Madison, a Madison team that a lot of people felt Rigby should have probably won by 2 or 3 touchdowns minimum. They end up struggling in that game, and they lost that. And that is no way to come into the state tournaments by any stretch. They reset the ball out here. I don't think there was any penalty on it. We heard the whistles blow, but no flags. So we're going to get our first play underway here. We got twins right, twins left. Adolfo in the backfield, one man with him, most likely blocking duties in the scenario. Corners now come up. It's going to be an offsides penalty. Number 70 for Capital jumps off sides. That's Josh Summers. He's the senior O-line and defensive lineman. Really the easiest call so far to start off a ball game. As you could see him just anticipating that snap and jumped a little early.
Yeah, just a little nervous. First game, big game, in the playoffs. Just a little nervous to get it started with. Coach is like, let's just get this out of the way. First penalty and move on from that one. But Rigby like that start for sure.
So we'll do it again. Now it's a 1st and 5. Same setup. Now we got man in motion from the shotgun. It's Adolfo. He looks downfield. He's got single coverage. Has him on the outside. And finally knocked down out of bounds. And that is thrown out, of course, to Rigby's big tight end, number 87, Con Dancy.
Yeah, that was a great play by Rigby. You know, they had that man in motion to throw a screen pass. They pump faked that and got the man down the seam on the sideline.
That's right. Dancy's actually a wide receiver, as a tight end, but he lined up as a wide receiver that time. As he came across, found himself in that single coverage, and the Weber State commit hits him first. Now we got quads to the left. Man in motion comes right. Once again, one in the backfield, three-man front. As you know, they're going to defend that pass. Speaking of Capital, run to the outside. All good enough for what looks like about a 4-yard gain on the play for Rigby. And Rigby, 2 plays in, moving the ball downfield and looking very good as they do it. Yeah, that was Falavea.
Yeah, Falavea got a nice read to this near side for about 4 yards. Slipped a little bit.
Well, and you'll see Rigby do this a bunch, where they pull to one side, get on one of the hash marks, and then use the opposite side of the field where they've got that room. They've got 2 receivers now to the right, one in the backfield from shotgun again. This time it's going to be kept by Adolfo. He jumps to the outside. He's finally brought down. What a great defensive play by Capital's number 33, Will Kavik. He's a senior linebacker, also a running back for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, it was a great play by him, by Will. That was a read option all the way, and he kept his assignment, and the assignment was the quarterback. Great play by him.
So Adolfo picks up some additional yards on that, brings up a 3rd, and we'll call it a long 1, short 2 for Rigby. And now we're going to get another jump off sides, and it's the same player guilty again as it goes against number 70, Josh Summers. And that's going to give an automatic first down to the Rigby Trojans. And, you know, Rigby is such a powerful offense. The last thing you need to do is give them freebies. In fact, if you're Capital, you know you're not gonna shut out a team like Rigby. You're not gonna stop a team like Rigby completely. What you've got to do is make them earn every play they get, though. You can't give them the gimmies.
Nope. And we're seeing that right now. They're just driving down the field in that one.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line on the Capital side of the field. Empty backfield with the exception of Adolfo. He takes it from shotgun. Has his man over the middle. Great move to the interior and pickup of about 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, I think that was their big tight end, number 87, Con Dancy again.
Yeah, Dancy again. And as Dancy slipped off the line there, and they kind of forgot about it, it ended up being their middle linebacker that had to come over to pick him up. As it is, it's 2nd and 2. Adolfo from the shotgun. Man deep in the backfield leads me to believe this might end up being a run. Now up under center, man in motion. Man in motion is 14, Taylor Freeman. Ball comes to the outside, and it's going to be short of the first down marker. And that's Falavea, as Will Kovic now getting in again on the tackle.
Yeah, great play by Will again. You know, he's
Falavai, Zeke Falavai, by the way.
Zeke,
my bad.
He's got a.
Once again, they get quick to the line. No huddle, and we are going to get another offsides. Nope, apparently he did not cross the line. Could have been. More instructions now come in. And Adolfo gives an audible at the line. Receivers stay wide. Freeman in motion. They're going to give it now to Falavea. Picks up the first down. And right now, it's been a good mix-up thus far. No deep passes yet for Rigby, which is what really you expect, but they're just kind of poaching their way down the field.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing their game plan that they wanted, you know. Every team comes out with a set 4 or 5 plays, and they're running perfectly right now with the help of offside penalties.
We got a whistle going on. Now we're starting the clock. I think what had happened is they hadn't started the clock up here, and, of course, they had to wait for the chains to move, but once it moves and they set the ball, you got to start it, but no motion from the official. One in the backfield. Again, it's Adolfo, and Adolfo once again goes out the far side. I believe that's Danzy again.
Yes, it is.
Tight end pass, and Danzy just continues to carry the defense. I think he picked up another first down. He did, in fact, down to the 12-yard line as Dancy, 2 players defensively initially hit him, and then a whole group came in, and he just kind of carried the group with him.
Yeah, it looked like a 6-yard hitch real quick, and great play, and hustled and dragged his defenders for that first down.
Twins left, single right. No motion as of yet. Getting more instructions from the inside. Yeah, it ended up looking like that play of the little kids, when you're playing tackle. And there's always that one big, huge kid in elementary school, everyone's hanging off him and he can still go to the end of the field.
Oh.
Levi carries it. Looks like it's going to be about a 6-yard gain. Brings up a second. Just as a side note, Rigby can still pick up a first down before he scores as well, as they can pick it up on the 2-yard line. And now Rigby again going with the no huddle set. And you see a lot of teams nowadays going with the no huddle. Rigby doing that tonight. Adolfo looks very good. A single man in the backfield. It's Falavea. Now he gives an audible. Running back switches sides. No man in motion this time. Now, across the middle as once again they were going to end up rewarding Dancy for what he's done on this drive and get him a touchdown. That one was just a little bit too hot. Came out really, really quick from Adolfo and seemed to be a little bit behind him.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little bit behind him and coming in about 95 miles an hour. So.
And they're going to go with the same set here, except for they're going to go trips to the right. Same man in the backfield. It's going to be Adolfo from the shotgun.
I would not be surprised if they try to do the same thing with Dinzy right
Well,
now.
you're going to have single coverage with one man. I think Rigby might have got away with a false start. Adolfo keeps it. He's going to come down just short of the goal line. We have a flag down there. I think the flag is going to be a face mask, the face mask variety. In on the tackle first was number 54, Jack Murphy, the senior offensive and defensive lineman, defense in this case, as he stood Adolfo up. Yeah, personal foul face mask. I thought I saw that when he went through. It looked like they'd grabbed it. And that'll be half the distance to the goal, so about 6 inches.
Yep, the face mask went in the direction it was supposed to, and
of course it was the first down anyway, because they got inside the 2-yard line where they could pick that up anyway. Play now comes in as Adolfo went over to the sideline to get it. Coach Armando Gonzalez doing a great job here at Rigby High School. Great tradition. And this one goes over to Falavea. He scores a touchdown, and Rigby, with 6:36 remaining in quarter number one, pick up touchdown number one.
Yeah, great play by them. They marched down the field, had a great mix of pass and run, and got this opening drive touchdown. Great drive by Rigby right there.
Well, that's exactly what Rigby wanted to do, and they did it in non-flashy fashion. As they just simply went down the field, they did a lot of little pitch plays, I call it, not an actual pitch back. But what I'm saying is just kind of those, I guess, more appropriately a chip play to get you down the field. Kick is up. Kick appears to be good. It is good. And with 6:36 remaining in quarter number one, it is the Rigby Trojans 7. The Capital Golden Eagles yet to score, but their first possession will be coming up. Taylor Chevrolet is a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics. Taylor Chevrolet has been serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years with excellent service and a stellar sales team. Taylor Chevrolet is the home of oil changes for life. That's right. Buy any new or used vehicle and your worry about your oil is gone. Taylor Chevrolet is your Southeast Idaho auto leader with a wide selection of Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac models. Come in today and get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexburg location or visit them at their website at www.taylorchev.com. So we get ready now for Rigby. The kickoff, and now we will see the first possession come in for the Rigby for the Capital Golden Eagles. And the kick is up. It's not going to go into the end zone, so this one's going to be returned. Yes, it is, in fact, going to go into the end zone. Boy, that was awfully close to a penalty. And it looked like it might have even gone out around the 1-yard line. As it is, ball will come out to the 20. Capital will take over first and 10. Max Clark, the senior quarterback, number 4.
Yeah, that kick was real close. That looked like a perfect punt to me.
Yeah, it did. Certainly did. Of course, your state playoffs quarterfinal round got kicked off last night in the former Mini Dome, Holt Arena. And at Pocatello as 3A Sugar Salem Your 3-time reigning state champions at that division knocked off Marsh Valley in their second meeting of the year. Marsh Valley with a 9-0 lead at half. Sugar ends up winning that game 22-16. Now it's taken in the backfield. Run out looks good for about 4 yards on the play. Ended up coming out to, of course, your running back, Jacob Olson. Jacob Olson does pick up the most yards for his team. Max Clark, of course, throws for just under 300 yards per game.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play right there. It was a second down play by quarterback Max Clark. He threw a little tunnel screen over to Nate Garcia to pick up about 3 yards.
When Capital has had their success, they've been able to really get their passing game going. One of the struggles when you're averaged, not even 100 yards a game on the ground, if teams shut your pass down, that really hurts you. You got to be able to move the ball on the ground as well. As this time it's a keeper by Clark, and Clark will get up, pick up the first down. A good first series of within this possession for the Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles in their white uniforms with their gold helmets. Rigby in their home gray with the maroon letters. Rigby Trojans and the Capital Golden Eagles. Of course, Jake Plummer, Capital alumni. Now Max drops back. He had a man open in single coverage, chose not to go with him. It keeps the ball, able to pick up about 3 downs. Togiai in on the tackle early on.
Yeah, Max missed a wide open receiver run down the middle of the field right there.
It was actually Logan Fredrickson that got in and brought him down on the tackle. Talked about Fredrickson already committed to Montana State out of the Big Sky. Togiai commit to Brigham Young University, future Big 12. So they accepted that invite this year. This time it's going to be handoff to the outside. And boy, brought down in the backfield by Rigby's number 1, Talbot. A strong safety came up and brought him down in the backfield. His number 23, Olson, had the carry again. And that was a great defensive play for the Trojans, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 12.5 to 13. We'll call it a long 12, short 13 for the Eagles. They're going to go into zone coverage defensively. It's Max popping out to the right side. He goes across, cannot find his man. It goes out of bounds, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And when you're playing a Rigby team, you've got to pin them as deep as you can. So I anticipate a punt, not a 4th down attempt.
No, this is about 4th and 12, so at their own 30-yard line. So, yeah, this is absolutely a punt, and they have to get a good punt because this Rigby offense was moving on that first possession.
And this was a bobbled snap and then gets blocked by Rigby. They pick it up. They're going to run it in for a touchdown. Touchdown, Rigby. Special teams out there to defend the punt. Not quite sure who picked it up. It was actually number 8 for Rigby. And, of course, number 8 is Hunter Nild. Hunter Nild, the senior linebacker, after the bobbled snap, rather than just going down on the ball, punter tries to kick it for Capital. It gets blocked. Of course, you had 3 players right on him. Ends up being picked up by, of course, Hunter Nild. Hunter Nild runs it in, and just like that, went from bad to worse. And Rigby scores, so they've got an offensive and a non-offensive touchdown. Well, I'm sure it offends many, but you get offense, not offensive, but offensive.
No, that's just a reminder as the PAT goes up to make it 14-0.
Extra point good.
Yeah, this is a reminder that special teams is a part of football. Special teams is a huge part of football.
It is.
People a lot to forget about it, and that's
It's
major
massive.
play.
It's massive when it comes to field position and many
Absolutely.
other things as well. For all of your commercial John Deere new and used agricultural equipment, choose C&B Operations, Eastern Idaho's premier John Deere dealership. Visit C&B Operations at 1102 West Bridge Street in Blackfoot for all of your equipment needs, or simply visit them online at deerequipment.com. That's DEER equipment.com. CB Operations in Blackfoot is a proud supporter of the student athletes and wants to wish them good luck in the state playoffs. Vale Valley Construction serves Driggs, the Star Valley, and now serving the Snake River Valley. They specialize in all kinds of construction from driveways and parking lots to large highways and site projects. Vale Valley Construction can help with your underground utilities, excavation, base gravel, grade work, and paving needs. Find them on Facebook or simply visit them at availvalley.com. That's AVAIL Valley.com. And they say, go Trojans. Back for another kickoff. Seems like we were just here, a little deja vu. And this one does go out of bounds. This was not a good kick, so this will come out to the 35-yard line where Capital will now take over 1st and 10. And Josh, as I look at this, I actually thought Max Clark looked quite good in that first drive. I think the things that he was tasked with doing, he took care of. It was on a handoff and a rush, by Jacob Olsen, where they ended up losing the yardage, in the backfield, brought up a 4th and 13, and then, of course, the botched snap, that led to the blocked field goal and scoop and score by Rigby. That's just one of those things that, Max didn't have anything to do with. So no. I think you kind of ride on what he's done for you so far, and don't panic here. It's not insurmountable by any stretch. They're at it again, trips right. Olsen in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him on a misdirection play. He brings it up for about a 5-yard gain. What a very good run. They're going to call it 4 yards. Very good run for Jacob Olsen. It looks like they'll give him closer to 5 as it's the near line judge that has the call on that. The far line judge had him about a yard shorter. The near line judge had him up there. So we'll call it a 5-yard gain on the play. Brings up a 2nd and 5. Same set. Trips right, twins left from the shotgun. And now they're going to draw the defense this time, and we're going to get in it. We have yet to get a false start in this game, but this will be our 3rd encroachment penalty, this time on Rigby after the 2 previous from Capital.
Yeah, both of these defensive linemen are jumpy tonight, huh?
Well, and what it shows you is these are aggressive teams. Aggressive teams also tend to be the most penalized teams.
Yep.
You see it at every level, and usually when you talk to those coaches will tell you, yeah, we'll live this. I mean, you're a Clemson fan, for example. They were plagued with a number of penalties, but Sweeney was able to live with it because the aggression that his team showed. That's kind of the upside of it. The downside is penalties, but I think they can live with the live with the downside because of the upside. Max throws it down. I'll tell you what, he had an open receiver, and I was really surprised on the play as number 12 Nate Garcia. Kind of gave up on the play. He seemed to stop. I think he thought he got interfered with or held early on, and instead of trying to stay with the ball, he kind of looked at the official like, bail me out.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was a nice seam route fade down the near side. And
I think had Garcia stayed with the play, he possibly could have got under that.
I think he would have.
As it is, brings up a 2nd and 10. Clark again from the shotgun. Olsen in the backfield. Got man in motion. He draws back, being pursued in the backfield. Couldn't get rid of it. It was actually set up as a screen play. He could not get rid of it soon enough, which was unfortunate because his man in motion was open, which was Nate Cherry. Nate Cherry went in motion, came back, was open on the screen pass, but unable to convert. It was Max Clark, and now 3rd and 10. With a need to pick up a 1st down. Otherwise, you're right back in punt position. And this time they're going to go out, and it is incomplete. I'll tell you what, the Capital fans really have an argument for a pass interference if they want, as they came up and hit the back of the receiver before that ball had an opportunity to be caught. That was Cody Walk, the senior tight end, that went out. It hit him in the chest, but he got hit in the back right before. And if you're a Capital fan, their coach, 2 of their coaches were out on the field, very upset about that play as it happened. Back for another punt, hoping for a different result this time. Of course, for Rigby, they'd love the same result.
Oh,
it's going to be a fake punt, and it looks like they are going to get close, and they will pick it up as it was a fake punt out to number 1, Avery Downey. Downey, the wide receiver, lined up short, and they short snapped it to him, and he went out and picked up the 1st down. Gutsy play.
That's a very gutsy play. And in the back of my head, I was like, man, this is right around the field position that a fake punt would come in high school. And Avery got a direct snap and ran the 1st down. It was an 11-yard gain. And great play, great gutsy call right
Coach
there.
Coach Todd Simmons has never been afraid to go for things at times. This is, of course, his last year at the helm of Capital High School. Now a run up the middle is going to be by Olson. Olson gets up, picks up 4 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 6. Jab Construction LLC is a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics, and they want to wish the boys good luck in the state playoffs. It's going to be Olson again as he comes to the outside, finally brought down, but not until he picks up a first down. No flags on the play. And that's a first down run. Olson, right now I'm quite impressed with Olson's ability to take that first contact and continue to move.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Capital is using his speed to their advantage because they're getting him on the outside. That play right there was just a pitch to the near side, picked up the first down. That was a fantastic play.
Clark again from the shotgun. Once again, he hands off to Olson, who gets out near the first down marker again. Looks like he's maybe going to be about a half yard short. But right now, Capital able to impose their will, and they're, like you said, they're doing it with that speed because they don't have the size advantage on that line. But what they're doing is they're spreading out wide. They're pulling the free safeties out to the outside and pulling your linebackers back. So if Olson gets through that initial line, he's able to pick up some yards. This time, no such go. On 2nd and a half yard, he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that is it. And it looked like he hit a Mack truck as Togai comes up and hits him. BYU bound Togai.
Yeah, it looked like they finally learned how to stop Olson right there in that that first down play.
Well, and again, the key is to get to through that first group and get into that secondary, make them come up and make the tackle. I think Capital got away with a false start on that play, but they'll take it either way. That one ends up being brought out by number 18. That's Cody Walk.
Yeah, Cody Walk is a big tight end,
Picks up the first down. And I think he had a little chip on his shoulder after what happened on that previous pass, right before the fake punt. Of course, it doesn't sting as bad since they were able to convert on the fake punt. On the shotgun again.
Oh.
And it's same again as Clark has come out of the ballgame for these two plays, and it's just been a wildcat play as they've gone to Walk now twice in a row. Walk picks up about 3 yards.
Yeah, I love tight ends. I'm a big guy, love tight ends. Shout out to all the tight ends around there. And then Cody, the direct snap. You don't see that too often.
No.
And I'm loving that play call.
Brings up a 2nd and about 7. Now under 50 seconds to go in quarter number 1. 14-0 is your score. Rigby on top, 1 offensive touchdown, and, of course, the blocked punt and scoop and score. And now the pass goes out and is complete. I believe that went out there.
It's Cody Walk.
It was Cody Walk. I thought for just a moment that was Shepherd Fish that had caught that, but it was actually Walk. They got the reception on that. Now it's a 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. And once again, it's going to be Walk as they like this, what they're getting out of this Wildcat set.
Yeah, it shows something different in Cody Walk. Like I said earlier, he's a big guy.
Well, he is a load. They do not list weight on the roster here. But as the quarter comes to an end, 14-0 is your score. But I would imagine he's got to go somewhere around 230 to 235. Absolutely. And that's a good-sized tight end for the high school rank for short. So at the end of the first quarter, it is Rigby 14. Capital yet to score, but in scoring position where they will be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Bricksteel is a leading manufacturer of many metal products. They are a family-owned business with 4 generations of experience in the metal industry. They specialize in steel roofing, metal roofing, steel siding, metal siding, and trim. Bricksteel stocks most colors and accessories for any steel roofing, metal roofing, or steel siding or metal siding project. They're locally owned and operated out of Rigby, Idaho to serve you better. The team at Bricksteel wants to wish the boys good luck in tonight's game. Idaho Drug in Rigby, a tradition in pharmacy since 1947 where your health is their priority. Whether you need a prescription refilled on their mobile app or a gift for that special someone, visit Idaho Drug at 139 East Main Street for all of your pharmacy and drugstore needs. They also offer free local delivery. Idaho Drug is a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics and want to wish the boys good luck in the state tournament. Upper Valley Orthopedics in the Upper Snake River Valley, renowned state-of-the-art orthopedic and sports medicine clinics. Doctors Michael Larson, Kevin Lee, by the way, Kevin's a good friend of mine, and Travis Torngren are board-certified orthopedic surgeons testing all conditions of the shoulder, elbow, hand, and wrist, hip, knee, foot, ankle, and sports-related injuries. Please call for an appointment at 208-356-9555 5-0. As now we come into the second quarter, and it's a toss that goes over to Olsen. Olsen gets in for a touchdown for Capital, and just like that, 5 seconds into quarter number 2, Capital goes up on the board. Also with Upper Valley Ortho, you can simply request at uppervalleyorthopedics.com for an appointment. They're a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics and located right in Rexburg, Idaho. Wow, coming right out of the timeout. They didn't even huddle with it, went right to the line. Olsen punches it in, and that was a great drive for Capital. Dang near blocked was the extra point, but it's up, and it is good. The extra point put up and good by the kicker number 32, Jackson Berg. He's the kicker on the team. He's a junior, so he'll return next year for the Capital Eagles. So, wow. First thing in quarter number 2, 5 seconds in, and Olsen punches it in from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, scoring is not something that their Capital is afraid of or not known to do. You know, in all of their wins, they've averaged right above 40 points a game. So they know how to score. And we saw that on that drive. They changed it up, tight end, direct snap to tight ends, and screens, and Olsen running and getting open. So I'm expecting to see that for the rest of that game, or this game.
Yeah, you know, I was really pleased with how Capital came back out after the disaster of that first possession and the blocked field goal, or pardon me, the blocked punt that ended up in a touchdown. And this one falls short of the goal line. It's going to be brought out by Rigby, and still on his feet for Rigby. That was number 4, Coleman Lords. Coleman Lords gets it out to about the 25-yard line. Good little run. It looked like he might even break it farther.
Yeah, that was a great tackle by the big man, number 70, Josh Summers, offensive lineman. He saved what might have been a kick return touchdown right there.
And so now Rigby will come out. Rigby very methodical in their first possession. In fact, both first possessions were very similar as far as just being methodical, you know, for each team, or at least both scoring possessions were. They did it in different ways. We saw a lot of the Wildcat from Capital, and now we'll see as Adolfo gets up under center. He's got a man in motion, number 14, Freeman. They go out to the far side with him. And he's going to pick up about 6 or 7 yards on the play. It looked like one time he was stopped about 3 yards, then stopped about 5, finally stopped about 7 yards in.
Yeah, he was a great stiff arm right there on the outside.
11:39 remaining.
A great stiff arm to pick up another 2 yards or so.
That's remaining in the first half of play, quarter number 2. By the way, Adolfo goes to shotgun, single the backfield, single right, twins left, eligible tight end. They look over as they might do an audible on this play. They've audibled several times out of plays tonight, which you don't see near as much at the high school level as you typically do, obviously, at the college and NFL level. However, you got a quarterback that's committed to FCS Weber State out of the Big Sky. And Adolfo gives a little shoulder fake, and the defense is good, but he's got a man wide open. He chooses to go deep instead. He had Freeman wide open on the left side of the field. He chooses to go all the way downfield as he tries for Coleman Lords. And Josh, you were up here pointing at Freeman, who was wide open. He's getting the play now for his team. But it was one of those, he's just kind of standing there, nobody on him. And would have been a first down pickup. It would have been a pass of about 20 yards.
Absolutely. And I say that up here, you know, I'm not a quarterback or anything like that. And you'll watch the film like that and then be able to see that.
Trips left, nobody right. Inside pitch. And up the middle they go.
Inside double pass to number 87, Con Dancy.
Once again, Con Dancy. Dancy doing it all as he takes the inside pitch, which technically is a pass because it's forward. He takes it, picks up a first down. Now on the 45-yard line on their own side of the field is Rigby from the shotgun again.
I love that play. That's a Travis Kelce play right there for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
very much
that,
so.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Chiefs, boy, what a struggle they've had. Of course, this week as they play Green Bay down a quarterback. It'll be interesting to see how that happens. The Chiefs have just really struggled. I believe, and no flags thrown. I believe that was actually offensive a false start as the pass downfield ends up in a touchdown.
I believe that's number 14, Taylor Freeman.
Yeah, Taylor Freeman again as he catches the pass with a defender right on him, and he drags him from the 10-yard line all the way in. They tried for the shoulder tackle, couldn't get him, and now the storyline of that play was the fact that we had the most obvious false start or the most obvious encroachment in high school football this year, and no flags thrown. As it is, Freeman gets the touchdown, no instant replay in the high school division. Kick is up, kick is good, and with 10:44 remaining in the in the second quarter of play. Wow, what a what a score, and we see the first real deep pass conversion of the night.
Wow, what a great throw right there. That just showed me how Adolfo's been a fantastic quarterback this year.
Well, that ended up being a 55-yard pass play.
Wow, what a throw and catch right there.
That was just absolutely fantastic. That's as good as it gets in a high school game. That was just that was some college level stuff that we were seeing right there. Cyrus Realty, powered by Dacre Bernard Realty Group, is focused on providing you with real estate experience unlike any other. Cyrus Realty has a team of professionals that will provide you with specialized knowledge and solutions for even the toughest deals. As the industry leader in innovation, Rise Realty agents utilize new technology that make the home buying or selling process a breeze, ensuring you have more time to catch all the Rigby Trojans' victories, and they say, go Trojans. As we now get another kickoff, right to left, as we see it and you hear it. Looks like Olsen's their kickoff returner as well, brings it out, gets it out to about the 22-ish, 23-yard line, where Capital will take over 1st and 10, down 21-7 with 10:38 remaining. You know, we talked about the need to, anytime you're playing a really, powerful offensive team, you got to make them earn everything they get. You can't give them any gimmies. And I'll tell you what, Capital made Rigby earn that last touchdown. That pass was as well defended as any pass you will ever see. It was just a great on-target pass and a great reception, that time by Taylor Freeman, as he gets in for the 55-yard touchdown pass. And now Max Clark back into the shotgun. And guess who he goes over to? How about big number 18, Cody Walk? Do you think they rely on him just a little bit?
I think they do. Cody's a senior. He's been in this program for 4 years, and they're loving this. I think and for us as well, it's really easy to tell. He's wearing these bright neon orange,
and he's not
gloves.
necessarily extremely fast,
no,
but he's a tough tackling assignment.
Powerful.
And so, for example, that play, he only got about 1.5 yards out of it. However, when he got hit, he drugged them for that 1.5 yards. And we have a timeout. It's on the field. We're going to take it as well and get some more words from our sponsors. More and more people in Rigby are choosing Madison Memorial Hospital for themselves and for their families. Madison Memorial is a fundamental part of this community. Its Rigby's roots go way back. In fact, many of the nurses and doctors and healthcare professionals who work at Madison Memorial today live right here in Rigby. And there's big Trojans fans. Let me tell you, next time you or someone in your family needs state-of-the-art medical care that's close to home with a personal touch that comes from being staffed by your own Rigby neighbors, just go to Madison Memorial. You'll be so glad that you did. Of course, Madison Memorial very busy over the last couple years with the COVID pandemic. As Rexburg's not a super big community. It's about 29,000 people, but you also got about 30,000 students at the college living there. And
crazy students.
So that small hospital, which is just a wonderful facility, wonderful doctors and nurses and staff. And now brought down in the backfield is Olsen. Brought down. I'm not sure who brought him down. It was
number 61, Jacob Womack.
Okay, Jacob Womack. Yeah. I knew it wasn't Togia. Togia was actually not in on that play. So as it is, lost about a foot on the play, brings up a third, and we'll call it 10 still. And this time Capital got away with a false start. What a pass and catch downfield. This catch by Danzy. He comes down and he's slow to get up, but I'll tell you what, it's a 22-yard pass completion on the field. Pardon me, I said Danzy. I meant Walk, Cody Walk. What a reception. That, I'll tell you what, that was college level right there. That's what you see on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah, and then the throw was perfect. That was in between a linebacker and a safety, right on the money to Cody. Fantastic catch right there, too.
Well, you know, if you look at this game, it's 21-7 game with 9:15 left in the second quarter. You know, you take away that block punt in that, and we got a one-touchdown game in this scenario. This time in the backfield, Max gets away. He's going to run to the outside. Finally, just spikes the ball down. No flags. A lot of the Rigby fans were looking for an intentional grounding there. However, he was out of the pocket. He was well out of the pocket. Did a forward, just kind of a throwdown. So they'll go back and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10. I thought it was a good play by Max Clark.
Yeah, and I in my head while he was running, I was hoping that he was going to throw it out of bounds or something because that was going to be a 10-yard loss if he did.
Well, he's a senior. He's a smart player, you know, and he's got a good set of legs. He was pursued early in the backfield and had to flush out to that far left side. And once again, he's got trips right, twins left. We're going to have single coverage as the man now goes in motion. They hand it to him, going to pick up some positive yards that time for number 12, Nate Garcia. Only the second time we've called Garcia's name tonight.
Call goes to Garcia.
And that time was on a run. Last time was on a reception. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 4, much more manageable 3rd down than they could have had. And now Capital still on the move. Same setup. Empty backfield with the exception of Clark. They're going to have single coverage on 2 receivers for the second time, yeah. And timeout by Rigby is, I think when he looked at that, Coach Armando Gonzalez saw some of that single coverage that was going on and said, no, we don't want this. We need a little bit of a different matchup than we have here in this scenario. And so they took it. Fall River Propane serves all the Upper Valley as well as Island Park with the highest quality, hottest burning propane at competitive prices. Our industry-trained and certified service staff offers more than 70 years of experience. Fall River Propane serves all makes and models of propane fireplaces and stoves, and we install home comfort systems and on-demand propane water heaters. Fall River Propane is your full-service propane provider for homes and businesses. Check them out at fallriverpropane.com or simply call them at 800-632-5726. fallriverpropane.com. Experience the difference. And we come out of this timeout with 8:27 remaining in half number 1. And right now, Capital on the move. They're going to have a 3rd down play here.
They're going back to that package with number 18, Cody Walk, in the backfield. Direct snap to him, takes it outside.
And he got it. They rolled back after, but he got it. At least he got up to the line per the, whichever line judge you went with on that. It was going to be a 1st down. And this is one of the things that I like that they've done at all levels of football. It used to be several years ago before they went to where, the officials were essentially eyeballing the 1st down. It got to be a stall tactic for many coaches, where they would just call the chains out. And, it would happen when they were 2 feet short of it, because it just essentially would give them an extra timeout. And it got a little bit old. Now we got trips left. This time Max puts it up, has his receiver, he brings it down and picks up the 1st down. This time he hits it out to number 1, Avery Downey. Downey, a senior wide receiver, also plays DB on the defense. Max Clark gets out with a fantastic pass. Now they go with the no huddle. I think they were caught off guard with the no huddle by Rigby at first, and now they're going through it and they're getting Rigby on their heels. Same setup, this time man in the backfield, nobody in motion. Olsen's going to be his check down receiver, but also his blocker. And, of course, they go out on the far side, hit their trusty tight end in that play, Cody Walk.
Lance, through this quarter and a half, Max has looked incredible. He really has.
He has looked fantastic. In fact, both quarterbacks have been very impressive. I think what we're seeing is the poise of quarterbacks that are really prepared to play at the next level, to play at the college level. Once again, this time, not quite sure where that was going to. However, I don't think he threw it into the ground unintentionally. I think he saw his guys were covered. He wasn't going to be able to get out of the pocket. Let me just throw it in the general direction and get it so nobody can catch it.
Yeah, it was either that or miscommunication with the receiver. But they're going to move on from that. It's 3rd down and about 5.
3rd and 5,
Yeah.
long 5, short 6. Clark, the only one in the backfield, man in motion. Clark keeps it. He's going to be flushed out to the right side. Has a man downfield, but nobody is open. So what happened is he ends up throwing it out of bounds, but he had Avery Downey down there, but I don't think Avery realized he'd been flushed to the side. He was just blocking out to this side and didn't try to pull off. He was an eligible receiver.
I think that was a broken play. I think that's the read option that went wrong.
Yeah.
And Max was just hoping that number 1 Avery would have been looking to go downfield for a throw.
Yeah, now, had he have thrown it, I think they would have ended up with an ineligible receiver downfield as well. I think that's probably what they would have ended up with. So, anyway, on 4th down, it's go for it range, trips right, single left, 1 in the backfield. And we're going to get another timeout, and I believe this is going to be by Rigby again, and if so, I think they just – yes, it is. I think that's their 3rd and final timeout of the first half. At least that's what I show. I could be incorrect. Yes, it is. That is their 3rd and final timeout of half number 1. We'll take it right here as well. Hoffman Auto Body Repair in Boise is a full-service collision repair shop for major collision damage to small dents. They specialize in all aspects of auto body. Hoffman Auto Body works with all insurances, and they handle claims for you. Hoffman Auto Body Repair, doing it right since 1958. Know someone looking for a rewarding job and a fun atmosphere? Look no further than Hoffman Auto Body. Stop by 3977 West State Street in Boise to fill out an application today. And they're sponsoring Capital High School tonight as the Golden Eagles here on a 4th down. Really wanting to pick up that first and keep this drive going, down 21-7. And, you know, if they could pull it and then get a potential stop, if they could pull a touchdown and get a potential stop, that's pretty decent going into the half. That's 21-14, especially knowing that you get the ball to come out and start the second. We got a receiver open downfield and just overthrows him, and of course, once again, of course, number 18, Cody Walk, and boy, that looked good. I thought it was going to drop good. It went a little off his outstretched hands, but I don't think it was a bad pass. I think it was right in the spot where the only person that was going to be able to catch it was going to be Walk.
Yeah, that was a great throw. It was about 6 inches too far.
Yeah.
It was right over his fingers. And
as it is, it's a turnover on downs. Yep. I think I'm a little more conservative in that situation. I think in a 4th and 5 like that, in that scenario, I'm probably going for the sticks. In that scenario, they did have, however, the good separation on the coverage. So I'm not saying it was a bad play. I'm just saying I think my conservative mind goes a little more just to the sticks. So the turnover on down brings out Rigby. And of course, once again, Tiger Adolfo, the Weber State commit, from the shotgun. Hands it off on the side. I believe it goes Falavai. So Falavai able to pick up about 4 yards on the play, brings up a 2nd and 6. And if you're Rigby here, with 7 minutes remaining in the first half, you would love to get down and move this game out 28-7 going into halftime. And anytime you put a team in a hole like that, it changes game plans. Anytime you've got to dig out of a hole, you know, particularly if you're a team that tends to take a lot of time off the clock, because now that time is not in your favor. From the shotgun again, just singles right, singles left, man in motion, 2 blockers in the backfield, eligible tight end. Ooh. And they come across with a screen pass up the middle. It's Falavai. And Falavai gets all the way down to the 43-yard line on the Capital side of the field. Pardon me, it was Dancy. Looked like Falavai for just a minute in their uniforms. The numbers are a little bit tougher to read on these Rigby uniforms. They don't stand out quite as much. But Dancy, what a great run, as he's the beneficiary of the screen pass.
That was a beautiful play because there's 3 screen opportunities there. There's a screen to the wide receiver, running back, and then they went to their 3rd option, that tight end.
Well, and then the blocking was fantastic in that play. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line, the Capital side of the field. Shotgun to Adolfo. He takes it. He's going to get close to a first down. He picks it up. He actually kind of went down on his own, and then was just touched. But now Rigby, and now, between last possession and this one, we're really seeing kind of that power that Rigby's known for in their offense. They were very methodic the first time they went down and scored, kind of chipped their way downfield a little bit. But now we're really starting to see why they are so dangerous.
Oh.
The ball goes far left. Intended for Taylor Freeman. Ends up falling short out of bounds. That was actually intended for Lords, Coleman Lords. Lords, a senior wide receiver. They've targeted him several times tonight. Of course, the big long pass ended up in the hands of Freeman. Drug the defender 10 yards. Those two were the only two on that side of the field. It was like a sumo wrestling match as they got into the end zone at that time. 2nd and 10, this time from the 31-yard line.
Yeah, Adolfo's going to look back on that play and during film, and he missed the touchdown. It was about 3 feet overthrown.
Boy, they set up in almost what is a traditional wing tee. Set up this time. They go through. Handoff run goes up the middle. It's a gain of about 5 yards on the play, maybe even closer to 6. It's Felavai with that run, and he picks up about 6 yards. We're going to call it 3rd and 4 for Rigby now after the missed pass on first down, the run on second. Rigby'd like to put up another score. They do have a kicking game that if they were to get stopped here, it would probably lead to about a 40-yard attempt, and that is very well within range. Now under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Adolfo gets the handoff over to Felavai. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 4, and that is almost guaranteed go-for-it range in high school football at almost any level where they're at. 31-yard line. Pardon me, the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that was the backup running back, Lucas Makula, I believe.
Makula gets into the ball game, gets his first carry, brings up 4th and 4.
They're going to go for this.
Adolfo in shotgun, empty backfield. I would not be surprised to see this be a keeper by Adolfo. Linebackers are up, which means they're going to have some single coverage. And no penalty flag again. Pass across the middle and nothing but open field. Taylor Freeman again with another touchdown. What a fantastic catch. And what happened there, they ran him essentially as a slot receiver across the middle, but all the linebackers and safeties were up near the line, and there was just nobody once he got behind him that could catch him. No one even had an attempt to.
Yeah, it was slants, and it was man-on-man coverage, and Freeman beat that and ran it in for a touchdown.
Well, and now we're seeing why Rigby won state 2 years ago, runners-up last year, and we're ranked number 1 at different points of the season this year. Of course, we're undefeated going into their final regular season game. As now with 4:02 remaining in half number 1, Rigby takes the commanding 28-7 lead and really gives a hole for Capital to try to climb out of. Capital here, if they could get down and score a touchdown and cut the score to just a double at 28-14 lead, and then possibly come out and score to start the second half, that would be a big boost for them. But they've got to figure out the Rigby riddle of how to stop Rigby defensively, because they are just right now Rigby is showing us why they are one of the top feared teams in the state. I think we'll probably see a little bit more from Jacob Olson this series. When they did well and got that score on the board, it was Jacob Olson that really helped move them downfield quite a bit, and we really didn't see him touch it much last time down. We certainly saw Cody walk, and he's been good for them, but it kind of hit the point where I don't think they were mixing it up quite enough. And I think we'll see Jacob Olson this time. Jacob Olson here gets out to the 20-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. It might be even the 21. 1st and 10 Capital with just under 4 minutes to go. They're going to do what it takes to put a score up on the board. We talked about Capital coming in off of that really good win over a good Lewiston team. They dropped 44 points on them and held them to 13. A game that most people really felt that Capital did not have a chance of winning. I didn't necessarily count them out in that game, but I had picked Lewiston. I thought Lewiston would win it.
I don't think you were alone on that one.
Now it's dropping into the backfield. Then up hitting their out receiver. So he comes out of the backfield. That time it ends up being number 10. They said it was Cody Walk, but it was actually number 10, Nate Cherry, that ended up with the pass on that. He was in motion in the backfield. He ends up popping out. He was the check down receiver. They went to him, and he picked up some positive yards, brings up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, great play by Max there, not forgetting his check down.
Yes. Trips left, one in single coverage on that. Twins right. And now they go with the inside pitch. This time it's going to go to Olson. Olson brought down after a short gain, but not bad. Puts him in a 3rd and 1 situation.
Yeah, great tackle, great play by number 52 on the defense, Nick Fingupo, excuse me.
Fingupo, he's a defensive tackle, number 12. He's a one-side player. He doesn't play on the opposite side of the ball. Rigby has a lot of players that go just one direction. And in the back, of course, it's Walk again. They give it to him in the Wildcat. He takes it. He picks up the first down now with just under 3 minutes to go, 2:49. The clock will stop while they set the chains. And you do have to remember, Capital has all 3 of their timeouts remaining here in half number 1. From the shotgun again, Clark has Olson in the backfield. Twins right, Twins left. Safeties have dropped back. Man in motion. This time he's going to go deep. Has his receiver. He's open, and he hits him in stride. And going all the way is going to be Ethan Castillo. Ethan Castillo gets all the way into the end zone. What a fantastic pass play. And Ethan Castillo, he blew through the defense. He got past the corner, and 2 safeties came over, and he split them, went right between them, and scored the touchdown.
That was a beautiful pass.
The only scary thing for Capital is you'll have 2 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock for Rigby as well. But 28-13, we got extra point pending.
Now this game is even different. That ball in that end zone, the last drive was a foot shorter.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you'd call that very differently. We would have a one-score game in that scenario. So the kick is up and good. 14-28, 2:25 remaining in the first half of play. Rigby with the lead. Capital, I'll tell you what, Capital's a good team. Capital is a very good team. The thing that has put Capital down right here, the biggest thing is that blocked field goal inside the 10-yard line, or block punt, pardon me, inside the 10-yard line. On their first possession of the ball game, that was a scoop and score for Rigby. That was brought out, and I believe that was nilled. Hunter nilled. It was. Scooped that up, took it in. You know, other than that, we got a a one-touchdown ball game without that. And when you're Capital, you understand that, hey, we get the ball to start the second half. But they've got a big task here because with 2:25 left, Rigby can move down the field very, very quick. And these last 2 possessions for Rigby have been dang near uncontested as far as result.
Yeah, Rigby's shown their dominance in the trenches and running the ball, and they're looking really good this first half.
Kick is up. Looks like it'll come short of the goal line, so it will be run back. Ball run out to the 20, across the 20 to the 25, out closer to the 28, where Rigby will take over 1st and 10. Ball brought out and returned by Cade Steffler. Steffler, just a sophomore. He's a wide receiver as well as a corner on their team officially as well. Has not been targeted tonight as a receiver, but has a good run back here. Gets it out to the 28-yard line. 29, they'll actually give it to him. 1st and 10 Rigby, 2:18 on the clock, and a 28-14 lead before the half. I'd like to give a shout out to this great Pepsi, this Diet Pepsi in my hand right here in front of me. I love it. To me, there's no better drink in the world than a cola, than an ice-cold cola, and there is no worse drink than a warm one. Out to the side, passes up by Adolfo. It's complete, and the receiver gets away from 2 armed tacklers. moves his way all the way down the field and is finally brought down by Avery Downey.
Looks like that was number 4, Coleman Lords. He made a move on the inside, cut back out to the outside, and was gone.
He did. It was just a 4-yard pass where he caught it, and he was wrapped by a first defender, spun out of it. Another one wrapped him. He got away from it and heads upfield. And now they get down in decent scoring position now with 2:04 on the clock and at the 29-yard line on the opposite side of the field. So they go in 2 plays from the 29, or in 1 play from the 29 on one side to the 29 on the other. And we have a tipped pass, and I believe Capital just intercepted the ball. And if you are Capital, you did intercept it. The officials call it that way. And with 1:53 remaining on the clock, the interception by number 20, Aiden Snow.
Yeah, the tip ball, I believe it actually was the tight end that also plays defensive end, Cody Walk, that got a hand on the ball.
It probably was Walk that got the hand on the ball. He's done everything else. Why not do that?
He's a ball hawk.
1:53 remaining in the first half, and Capital again with the ball. 28-14 your score. Clark steps out of it, has some running room. He's going to go and he's going to slide after picking up about 4 yards on the play. A long 3, short 4, brings up second. We'll call it 6 for Capital. Capital still with all 3 of their timeouts. Haven't had to use it because of the long pass play last time. 2nd and 6, trips right, Twins left, across the middle, and they, of course, go to their trusty tight end. Picks up the first down, gets into Rigby territory on the 49-yard line. I'll tell you what, Cody Walk, this senior tight end, boy, that kid could definitely play at the next level. Coaches need to be looking at him. We get a timeout. It'll be the first one used of the first half for the Golden Eagles of Capital. 1:26 remaining. Look out across the Snake River Valley here, and you can see down towards the Idaho Falls area the blinking lights going on and off. Of course, those are all the big windmills out there, headed out to the Bone Valley out there. That's the host of a big race during the summer. It's a team race called To Bone and Back. It's a 40-mile race, and it's 20 miles out, 20 miles back, and you run in groups of 8, and each participant runs 5-mile legs in that. Kind of a big race in southeast Idaho, and put on by, of course, the legendary cross-country and track coach, Brett Hill, as he wrapped up cross-country just barely at Sugar Salem. Boys won their 7th consecutive state championship between track and cross-country in his career at Firth and at Sugar Salem, combined 46 state championships for Brett Hill between the boys and the girls.
That's quite a number right there. Yeah, I don't think I would be running that 5-mile lap. I'd be walking it probably.
Well, my family's all runners other than me, meaning my wife and children, so they're always in it every year. My wife and girls, anyway. Man in motion. The man in motion happens to be Walk, and they underthrow him this time. The Max underthrow. There's been a couple of those underthrows that Clark has done. That time, unfortunately for them, Walk was open. He could have got that and got to the sideline. As it is, clock stops 1:23, and it brings up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they were just trying to make a quick short out to get out of bounds, save a timeout. And an incompletion did that, but they would have rather the yards right there for sure.
Capital on the move. Clark in the backfield, one man with him, nobody in motion. They got away with a false start by one of the wide receivers. Olsen, we haven't called his name in a while, and he gets pancake slammed to the ground after a gain of about 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, they like to keep trying to get him outside. They keep pitching it to the outside, and Rigby was ready for that. Great play by the defensive end right there.
Well, that was the Montana State commit, Logan Fredrickson, with the big tackle. Now on 3rd and 9, they're just going to give him 1 yard on that. 3rd and 9. Clark goes back. He's got an open receiver. He's got 2. Ball's thrown down. It looked like simultaneous reception. It was, but that goes to the offensive player. And once again, guess who caught the ball? We'll have to call it Cody Walk.
Cody caught the ball. He was surrounded by 2 defenders.
It was caught by him and the defender. And, of course, that if they both come down with it together, it goes to the offensive man anyway. But he ripped it right out of his hands. And now on the move is Clark. Has a receiver open. He can get out of bounds, too. Does so as he finds his trusted receiver, number 12, Nate Garcia. Nate Garcia gets out of bounds with 36 seconds on the clock, and you'd have to think in worst-case scenario this is field goal range. As we've watched kickers for both these teams appear to be able to, kick 40-plus yarders if needed. Ball down on the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Capital on the move. Boy, Capital's offense has been very impressive. If they could have gone back and erased that first drive with the block punt that was a scoop and score. Now Clark to the left side, just throws it into the ground. He's out of the pocket, no harm, no foul. Brings up a 2nd and 10.
I'm wondering if Togiai's hurt. He hasn't been in the past couple defensive drives or even offensive.
No, he hasn't. I've seen him down on the sideline. He's big number 74, but I haven't seen him working on him. And so I'm not quite sure.
Maybe they're saving him for the second half.
Yeah, it could be. So he's a defensive tackle, and he's a guard on offense. Speaking of Talon Togiai, the BYU Cougar commit. Max Clark from the shotgun. He's still got the trips left in the backfield. He's got a blocker. It's Olsen, and they're going to go deep. He has his man, and we're going to get a hold. That was the easiest call of the ball game as he tried to hit his receiver, Avery Downey. I don't know what fans are calling the I don't know what fans are booing about the corner at the jersey, and it was stretched back about 3 feet.
I'm not a good ref at all, and I would have called that one. That was pretty.
Fans started booing. Of course, we're up above, the fans. We got a lot more of a bird's eye view, but that's one of those where you can see the jersey pulled back several feet and those stretchy jerseys. So it wasn't something the fans should be booing. That's one of those. No matter where you are, you always get a group of fans that boo no matter what, because that's what you do when you go to a ball game. You boo.
That's your job.
There's never been a good call unless it's in your favor. Really good fans here at Rigby High School as Capital brought a pretty decent contingent down from Boise, as they've pretty much filled most of the other opposite side of the stadium. Once again, this one into the end zone. And this time it was intended for Cody Walk, and he's looking and saying, "Hey, why didn't I get a pass interference on this?" As it is, it brings up a 3rd and short. I think though, he might have had a beef in that, and there's a couple things these officials are going to have to do at halftime. They have missed several egregious false starts and pretty egregious offsides as well. It's one thing if you say, it was close, but these are ones that he's already in the backfield before it snapped, It's been kind of one of those, and Walk takes it. He's going to pick up the 1st down for his team with 16 seconds on the clock. They have 2 timeouts. They're going to take one of them right now, and it's going to give them an opportunity to maybe have 2 shots at the end zone and then potentially a field goal attempt if they can't get in.
Yeah, and going back to that pass to Cody in the end zone, it was an outside shoulder throw, and he was turning back the other way, and the defender was all over him, pulling him back. And I thought a flag was going to be pulled right there.
Yeah, if there's a little bit of bumping, I think everyone's okay with that.
Absolutely.
The jostling, the bumping, but when you can see a player physically has a hold on them, that's a whole different scenario. And he was already upset from their very first or second possession that they had. They ended up scoring later on that possession, but it was a 3rd down.
Mm-hmm.
He was targeted for a 20-yard pass, and the ball hit him in the chest, but he was nailed in the back a good 3-4 feet before the ball got there. And coaching staff was really upset about that particular play at that point. And see, right now you've got coaches talking to the officials, very upset with them on the far side of the field, saying, "Hey, that was a very obvious, pass interference." And the thing is, we're not rooting for one team over another. We're just calling the game as we see it. And if it was the opposite side, we'd do the exact same thing.
Yep.
We'd call it. We've seen a number of missed offsides and false starts penalties, that they could have called on Capital as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have a dog in this fight. We just, every once in a while we'll get a shout out and someone will say, "Hey, you said so many more good things about their team than you did ours." Well, they just beat you 56-0. There's a lot more good things to say as Walk gets brought down in the backfield by Fredrickson. And now they've got to take another timeout with 10.6 seconds remaining on the clock. Really surprised to see a run right there.
Yeah.
You have 2 timeouts left. You really have probably 2 legitimate shots at the end zone. I was shocked.
You know, that play's been great for them. It's a direct snap to their tight end, Cody Walk, who's been amazing this first half. But as soon as Togiai was back in for that play, and as soon as I saw that, I would have called that an audible and done something different right there. Great play.
The ball was on the 9. He loses yardage on the play, goes back to the 11, brings up a 2nd and goal. This time from the 11. But that play was blown up by Fredrickson, the Montana State commit, early on. I mean, he got through almost untouched in the line, and Walk just had no prayer. Walk's been able to use his body size, as a good avert to the tackle, and he's been able to drag people. You're not going to drag Fredrickson, one of the top linebackers in the state. Togiai was in, and he comes out again now on this side. We just haven't seen him near as much as we expected tonight. It's Clark. He's got a single right, and it's going to be single coverage. That happens to be Downey, and that's who he's targeting. He's going to him. Downey gets it. They're going to say no good. They're going to say he used the ball or used the ground to catch the ball.
This is where Capital wishes for the instance of instant replay. That was a very close play.
Yeah, it was. It was a very close play. As Togiai now goes back in defensively. We're going to get a field goal attempt. No, we're not. They're going to go for it. It looked initially like they were going to bring in the field goal unit out. Yes, they are. However, this is going to be Max Clark who's going to be the holder on this. I would not be surprised if this is a fake and they go for the end zone. They've already faked it once tonight.
Yeah, Rigby's expecting something. Have 2 safeties in the back.
Yeah, they have 3 eligible receivers on this play. This is down, this is up, looks left. It is no good as it does go left with 1.1 seconds remaining on the clock, and Rigby will take over with that 1.1 seconds remaining. I'd imagine they'll most likely nil on it going to the half with that 28-14 lead. And for Capital, boy, what a missed opportunity, because if you put that in the end zone and bring it to a 1-touchdown game, you get the ball to start the second half. And, with a potential opportunity to tie it up, I think the play that really surprised me more than anything on that was, with the 16 seconds left, you come out, it's 1st and goal, and you try to run. I really think, you take a couple legitimate shots at the end zone at that point. And then, of course, with instant replay, that play might have been reversed on the reception. From where we were standing, it looked good, but we couldn't see if the ground helped catch that or not. And so, the officials right on it will give him the benefit of the doubt. And it looks like Adolfo is, in fact, going to nil it. Clock runs out, and we head to the half. 28-14 is your score. The number 1 ranked Rigby Trojans, number 1 out of District 5-6, with the lead 28-14 over the Capital Golden Eagles. We're going to get a word. We'll be back with some first half thoughts after this.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Idaho, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
You've heard it before. There is no I in team, but there is an I in dairy. Dairy foods are a great source of protein, which is vital for helping rebuild and repair muscles after exercise, so your body can be at the top of its game at your next competition. So grab some milk, cheese, or yogurt after you work out, train, or play. Yes, it's true. There is no I in team, but there is an I in win. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. It's the recipe for success in any kind of sport, and dairy can be a key ingredient in every one of those steps. Dairy foods supply your body with high-quality protein to rebuild and repair muscle, carbohydrates to help you refuel, and fluid and electrolytes to help you rehydrate. So your personal recipe for greatness can be perform, win, repeat. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
I'm Dr. Christine Hahn. I'm an infectious disease doctor, and I'm Idaho's medical director for public health. It's my mission to keep our communities healthy and safe. That's why I believe every Idahoan should get their COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine's been tested. It's proving to be very safe, and it's the most effective tool we have to stop the spread.
Walk into a pharmacy or visit covidvaccine.idaho.gov to find your free COVID-19 vaccine.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Athletes know how important it is to stay hydrated. But did you know there are other ways to hydrate besides just drinking water? In fact, milk is a great hydration option because it actually contains water as well as electrolytes that are lost when your body sweats. So consider taking milk along with you to your next game or competition and enjoy the taste of greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
You train, you sweat, you practice, you go for the gold, you give 110%, but most of all, you aim for greatness. And milk is the performance enhancer that can help get you to your goal. Trusted by athletes and backed by science, there's a healthy helping of greatness in every refreshing glass of milk. So let nature's original sports drink help quench your thirst for greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials.
Welcome back, Rigby High School. 4:30 remaining before we start half number 2. 28-14 your halftime score. Rigby on top of the visiting Capital Golden Eagles. And what has really turned into a good game, the score of 28-14 really does not show how tight this game is. The biggest difference right now is really that blocked punt. It was inside the 10-yard line, ended up being a scoop and score for Rigby as they were able to pick that up. Hunter Nild ran it in, and then just a couple miscues from Capital. You know, they could have potentially had a lead with this. Now, Capital does get the ball to come out in half number 2 as they kicked off to start the ball game, but 28-14, not insurmountable by any stretch.
No, not at all. I'm just going to do a quick summary of the scoring drives. So Rigby, they scored first. 6 minutes, 36 seconds left in that first half. Our first quarter was Fellow Vi with a 2-yard run for Rigby. And then that blocked punt to make it 14-0. Capital didn't score until the second quarter. 5 seconds in, they had an Olsen 2-yard run. And then Rigby scored with Adolfo throwing to Tyler Freeman for a 55-yard touchdown. And so going on from there, that made it 21-7. Rigby once again had a huge stop on the down here 23-yard line. The Capital was driving, and then they had a fantastic stop on the 4th down to stop Capital, and then go back to Adolfo to Freeman for 18 yards to make it 28-7. And then Max Clark hit Ethan Castillo for about a 60 to 70-yard touchdown throw to make it 28-14. And then at the very end of that first half, with about a second left, Capital missed about a 25, 30-yard field goal that would have made it 28-17.
Yeah,
so there's a summary right there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a very, very good ball game. Of course, we're here in Southeast Idaho. This is the only game being played in Southeast Idaho in the 5A division here in the quarterfinals. And we tried to be brave as long as possible, and now we've gone to the thick coats and the gloves. As we look at the other 5A games going on, all of them are playing tonight here in the quarterfinals. The winner of this game will go and play the winner of the Mountain View Meridian game, and that's a very intriguing game up there as those two teams played each other to start the regular season, and it was a 1-point game, 14-13, as Mountain View won that. So that could be a very tough one. Mountain View, your number 1 ranked team in the state in the media polls coming into this, also your number 1 ranked coming out of the South or the Southern Conference, Southern Idaho Conference. And then bottom half of the conference, you have Coeur d'Alene hosting Eagle tonight, and then Rocky Mountain is hosting Highland, your other Southeast Idaho team. But Highland up there, the visiting team in that, and that is a very intriguing matchup as well. I've had Highland on a couple different occasions this year, and this has been a good Highland team. Of course, Rigby doubled them up earlier this year. That was really, what I call the significant win or the key win. 44-21 was the score on Rigby's schedule against Highland. Highland's, of course, been a power team as well. Good players, a lot of good players come out of there. Of course, the most recent of the, as far as NFL known and stuff, is Taysom Hill. Played his high school ball there, and home field was the Mini Dome, which is now Holt Arena. Well, we've got a good one here with 2:42 before we start half number 2. And again, keep your eyes out. You can check for all the scores on the Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com and see who is winning their respective ball games. But again, the winner of this one, Rigby and Capital, will play the winner of the Mountain View Meridian game. And I believe, if I am correct, I believe that if Mountain View wins, they will host no matter whether it's Rigby or Capital. But if Meridian was to win and Rigby was to win, then Rigby would host. If Meridian won and Capital won, Meridian would host.
Quite confusing.
Of course, within the same valley, that's not too far to go. This is the only 5A game being played in Southeast Idaho tonight. Your state playoffs started last night, or I shouldn't say the state playoffs. They actually started the week before, but the quarterfinal round was kicked off last night down in Holt Arena in Pocatello as Sugar Salem, your 3-time defending state champions at the 3A division, knocked off Marsh Valley in a very toughly contested game, a game that Marsh Valley led and was shutting out Sugar at the half, 9-0. Sugar came back and scored 22 unanswered points before, in the closing minutes of the ball game, Marsh Valley put up another score. It ended up being 22-16. Sugar winning that, and they'll go out and face the winner of tomorrow's game with number 1 seeded Homedale as South Fremont from Southeast Idaho here heads out there to play. Homedale, the heavy favorite in that game, but South Fremont was a team that started out 3-0 on the season before losing their next 3, and had some struggles. Lost to Sugar Salem in the rivalry game called the Cold War to end. I guess it didn't end the regular season as Sugar went up and played 4A Mountain Home after, and South went out and really blew the doors off of Teton the next week. Teton struggled this year in the Mountain Rivers Conference. But you really got some good matchups. You know, Shelley from Southeast Idaho here has had a good season that a lot of people didn't see coming. Preston ended up playing it pretty well this season as well. And some teams that everybody really kind of thought might run roughshod struggled a little bit. Skyview struggled at different times. They're your reigning 4A state champions. Blackfoot has struggled, been very inconsistent at times. And those are teams that really, boy, if they're on their game, they're tough. In fact, Skyline, I said Skyview earlier, I meant Skyline. Skyline gave Rigby a run for about 3/4 of that game earlier this year. And of course, we know how good this Rigby team is. So it's a playoff time that brings certainly some challenges, and you know, teams have to be able to step up all the time.
You know something, going back to that Sugar, just real quick, those seniors they're trying to go 4 for 4.
That's right.
State championship.
Yeah, they've never known
That's
high school without a state championship.
I knew high school without getting to the playoffs. That was my high school.
Will, we're sure you're a good man either way.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah. So we get ready to start half number 2. It's going to be, once again, we talked about it, Capital starting with the ball in their hands to possibly come down and cut this within a 1-score game. Been a fantastic ball game thus far, and again, the 28-14 as the ball goes deep into the end zone. The 28-14 score is not indicative of how tightly this game has been contested. So they're going to start on their 20-yard line, pardon me, where they will start 1st and 10. We want to thank our advertisers. We got a number of advertisers for Rigby. Got one for Capital as well, as you guys have stepped up, helped bring these games to everybody live and free here on IdahoSports.com. Okay, we had another offsides that was not called on that play, as Capital able to pick up about 2 yards on the opening play. And that was Olson with the carry. Max Clark once again under quarterback. We have seen a lot of the Wildcat tonight as they've used Cody Walk, the senior tight end, in a Wildcat position. We got coverage downfield and a pass, and we got a pass interference. And this pass interference, again, that's pretty tough to complain on. It was, you know, pretty easy as defender. Ryder Thompson, the senior corner, he was out defending Ethan Castillo, who caught a beautiful in-stride pass for a 65-yard touchdown earlier on in the, 60-yard touchdown earlier on in the ball game. And as it is, it'll be a 1st and 10 on a penalty.
That's a hard play for Ryder right there. I kind of feel for him. You know, it was an underthrown ball, and Castillo had to go back, and Ethan, I mean, he just went right into him, and that's going to be called pass interference every single time.
That's right. So. It was a tough play to defend, and one of those you can't get out of. Not pass interference because of bad defense, just simply pass interference. It's due to the nature of the ball being underthrown. And again, we're going to get some positive yards pick up on this play. It's going to be Olson again. It's going to bring up a 2nd and a long 6, short 7.
Yeah, and we saw Capital go away from Olson in that 2nd quarter, so we're going to probably see them go back to him. They were having very much success.
Well, the first touchdown that they scored, he was the majority of that until we got down in scoring position, and then it was their big tight end, Cody Walk, that ended up doing that. Now we get a nice run on the right side, and it's going to be another 1st down, and this time it is in the hands of Ethan Castillo coming out of the backfield that time. The pass complete. He gets down to the right side, out of bounds. And his jersey's been stretched on several occasions tonight as the defender has grabbed it. This time for a tackle, though, not a pass interference.
His jersey got stretched about another 3 feet, so his numbers are a little wonky right now. Great play by him, though. Great run.
Got a man in motion. He's the check down receiver out of the backfield, and unfortunately they could not hit Nate Cherry, who was in motion, because he could have probably picked up another 5-6 yards after the catch. As Max Clark just didn't. There's been several times today under pressure where Clark has thrown some absolute brilliant passes, and then times that he's just kind of released it a little bit too quick to have accuracy on it. Trips left, single right. We're going to have single coverage left. It's going to be a handoff to Olson. Olson now goes up on second down, picks up a good 5 yards on the play, brings up a 3rd and 5 for Capital. And I think this is 2-down territory for Capital here as they get down to the 40-yard line on the Rigby side of the field.
Looks like they're bringing in their big boys right now, so this is probably going to be a Cody Walk.
Yeah, Togiai comes into the ball game. Fredrickson comes into the ball game. And Togiai gets taken out of the play, and Cody Walk picks up the first down. It looked from where we were sitting that if Walk would have cut to the inside towards the end there rather than the outside, he might have been able to even pick up more yards, but that's easy for us to see from a bird's eye view. Not so much for him. Picks up the first down. The ball goes all the way down to the 34-yard line, where it is 1st and 10 Capital, 9:58 remaining in quarter number 3, 28-14 your score. Rigby up, but Capital on the move. They got single coverage to the right. It's going to be a Wildcat again. Once again, it goes to Cody Walk, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play, bringing up 2nd and 6.
You know, I personally haven't seen Capital play this year. Do you know if Cody Walk has been a major part when it comes to direct snaps?
I don't know if this particular play has been a part of it. He's been a major part, of course, of their offense. Yeah. Rather this particular play has been, I mean, they seem to be so schooled at it that I would imagine they have run it throughout the year. And this time they're going to toss it over to, it's kind of a pitch play, over to Olson. It was a quick toss in the backfield, and he's going to pick up some positive yards, bring up a 3rd down, but it's going to be very manageable, a 3rd and 3.
Yep, and this is that position where I'm not going to be surprised for a Cody Walk direct snap, and it looks like they're lining up for that as well.
Twins right, single left, 2 in the backfield. That's a blocking crew because once again they're gonna go to Cody Walk, and he's not going to pick it up. He's gonna get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, but it looks like for the most part just go back to the line of scrimmage, brings up a 4th and 3. This is no man's land. This is kind of out of field goal territory, but a place where a punt really doesn't do you much benefit, as you are down on the 26-yard line. If you punt and it goes into the end zone, it's going to come out of the 20 anyway. So this is what you call quintessential go for it territory. Clark from the shotgun, and this time they're going to finally get the false start called. And it's going to go against, of course, Rigby.
Offsides, yep.
Yep, they did not. Or that's what I meant, was offsides, and that was an encroachment call. And that'll be an automatic first down for Capital. It was a 4th and 3. And again, fans are booing it. And I think in this case, fans aren't booing because it was a false start, or an encroachment. I think they're booing because they really haven't called it consistently all game long. So they look and they say, well, why are you calling it now? Man in motion. That man happens to be Walk, and they're looking for him in the end zone. It looked like he was a little deep to be able to catch it. I think if he had caught it, it wouldn't have been a touchdown anyway. It was a little deep in the end zone, but he had the speed, and he was still tightly contested in that corner. But I like that call. I really like that play call on first down, and that's a play they dang near scored on in the second quarter.
Yeah, Cody's a big guy. He's fast, too, so I'm not surprised that they gave him a shot to the end zone. He's bigger than every one of their safeties. So
2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. Clark, the only one in the backfield. He's got Walk out there again. He's got him open if he wants him. Now he's scooting out to the right side. He's going to hit his receiver, and does. Receiver drops down to the ground. It's number 12, Nate Garcia. Nate Garcia, he only got back really to the, well, they're showing that he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but that can't be correct. Yeah, now here they finally get up, as you say, that was for some positive yards. It should be 3rd and 2, and it is. A long 2, short 3.
3rd and 2, ball sitting on the 15-yard line.
Garcia, it was a nice catch by Garcia. He's eligible as a receiver now. They got Walk. They're going to have double coverage on Walk. They got single coverage on the outside with Cherry. One in the backfield. That is Max. Max puts it up. He's going to go to the corner, and this one again thrown way over the intended receiver. It would have been no good even if he'd have been able to get out and catch it. Ethan Castillo. It was out of the right side of the end zone. This brings up a 4th down, and that was an interesting call on 3rd. I really thought that in that case they'd probably use walk and just pick up that 1st down, go to the sticks, either pass it to him or a run, and he was actually open in the middle too.
Yep, and it looks like that's what they're doing right now.
They're going to go for the Wildcat, and what they've done is brought in big number 71 to be his blocker on that, Colin Drew, senior offensive defensive lineman.
Oh.
He's going to follow Drew, but is able to finally get past him, and it's the tackle that gave him the 1st down. Instead of hitting him and knocking him backwards, they hit him and knocked him forwards, and the tackle has given him the 1st down. It's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. And I think it is right on the 10. If so, it's a 1st and goal. If it's slightly out, yeah, it is. So it's going to be a 1st and goal. This is the worst 1st and goal scenario you can have because anything outside of 10, you'd have been able to pick up another 1st down. That's a play that's worked very well for them. We're going to get a timeout. This timeout is going to be by Rigby as they are getting moved on again up and down the field by this Capital bunch, and we're going to take it here as well. Taylor Chevrolet is proud to support Rigby Athletics. Taylor Chevrolet has been serving the Upper Valley for over 90 years with excellent service and stellar sales team. Taylor Chevrolet is the home of oil changes for life. That's right. Buy any new or used vehicle and never worry about your oil again. Taylor Chevrolet is your Southeast Idaho auto dealer with a wide selection of Chevrolet, Buick, and Cadillac models. Come in today and get the vehicle you want with oil changes for life. Stop by their Rexburg location or visit their website at TaylorChev.com. That's TaylorChev.com. Come back out after the timeout. 6:55 remaining in quarter number 3. And it's a 1st and goal. Rigby that called the timeout. They've got 2 left in the ball game. You get 3 per half, none carry over. They used all theirs early in the first half. As Capital had theirs man in motion, it's Garcia. And they're going to do a double reverse, and they're going to do a pass to the end zone, and the pass was no good. They tried using, on the pass, Nate Cherry to throw the ball. He had a couple open men ahead of their defenders, but he just threw it way out ahead of him. I really like the play call. Unfortunately for Capital, they just were unable to do it, but I'll tell you, if they'd have noticed, Cherry, when he got it, he might have been able to run that ball in.
Yeah.
On the reverse, the entire defense was over on the far side of the field.
That play is famously known as the Philly Special.
Clark out to the right side, has a man deep in the end zone, can't get him as he tries to go down once again to number 21, Ethan Castillo. Over his head and brings up again another one of those crucial 3rd downs. And I would not be surprised to see if we see Walk either targeted on this play or a Wildcat.
You know, I'm interested to see when Walk does a Wildcat, since they've done it so much, what if he does like a little, throw over the top, fake a run, throw over the top. They have to be planning for a play action sometime.
Well, he's not going to do a Wildcat on this time. It's going to be Olsen in the backfield alongside Clark. Max Clark goes from the shotgun, and he goes across the middle to Walk. Walk gets down to the 5. Now this does put them. It's going to bring up 4th down and goal from the 5-yard line. Now this is legitimate legitimate field goal territory, certainly from the 5-yard line. But it appears, from all intents and purposes, that they're going to go for it. And once again, they bring in big number 71, Colin Drew, to be the lead blocker on the Wildcat for Walk, and Walk's going to follow him. No, he did just what you said he was going to do, but it was knocked down by the defender. So the little pass over the middle gets knocked down by the defender. What a great play call, but the ball was just lobbed up way too high, and the defender knocks it down. And on the 5-yard line, Rigby's going to take over 1st and 10, and for Capital now, that's twice they've been in the scoring zone, once towards the end of the first half and now once to start the second, that they have come away with 0 points on that. And to me, each one of those, they've just been one play call short of being able to make it. I think there's been one play call in each of those that kind of hurt them bad. This time it goes back to Rigby, 6:02 remaining in the third quarter. It's been a pretty dang clean quarter, and they took basically half the time off the clock to move the ball downfield. Now a tackle in the backfield will bring up a 2nd and 11 as Capital gets into the backfield and brings down Talavea.
Yeah, big number 71.
Pardon me.
Yeah, big number 71. Colin Drew was on that stop, and of course Cody Walk was as well. A tackle for loss.
Cody Walk, a good two-way player. He's one of those kids that could be recruited anywhere as an athlete, not necessarily for a specific position. That's Talavea again out of the backfield, and oh my goodness, they might have the safety. They might have a safety on that. No, they don't. It's down to about the 1, or not even the 1. It's down to about the 2-inch line, where it will be third and 14, or pardon me, 3rd and 14.95 to pick up the first down. Now here's where you got to be careful, because you got Taylor Freeman that can go down the field. He's a very good receiver. Right now he's being guarded by opposite side receiver on that, which is Castillo, playing the corner position here, and dropping in happens to be the Tiger, and he gets the pass out, and that looks to be close to the first down marker. It's not quite, and it brings up a 4th down, and this becomes a very risky play, because I'll tell you what, if you don't get in the end zone, or if you don't get the first down here, Tiger Adolfo, you're giving the ball over inside the 20-yard line. However, if you're Rigby too, you say, we've stopped them twice inside the 20-yard line too. And it looks like they're going to bring the punting crew on and think just a little bit better of it, as Coach Gonzalez was able to kind of assess that for a little bit.
I thought that was going to be a little risky.
Yeah. I thought, boy, this is a risky play. And it's not going to be a fake. Punt is up. And it's going to be taken, no fair catch, and brought down quickly is going to be number 1, Avery Downey, the senior wide receiver and defensive back, also a kickoff and punt returner as well for the Capital Golden Eagles. I like that mascot, Capital Golden Eagles. For all your commercial John Deere new and used agricultural equipment, choose C&B Operations, Eastern Idaho's premier John Deere dealership. Visit C&B Operations at 1102 West Bridge Street in Blackfoot for all your equipment needs, or simply visit them online at deerequipment.com. That's DEER equipment.com. They're out of Blackfoot, and they proudly support Rigby Athletics. It's going to be Olsen now. He gets the handoff. They're able to drag a couple defenders, picks up about 3 yards on the play. Was hit early on the line of scrimmage and was wrapped, but he did actually, they gave him about 4 yards on it. He did what I call football 101. Every little kid when you're young, they teach you when you get hit, you just keep turning your legs, keep them moving, and that's what he did there rather than go down. From the shotgun again, it's Clark. Clark has 2 receivers open, goes inside, drops it down, able to get. Looks like they did call it a completed catch, or did they call it a bobble?
Bobble.
Okay, so they ended up calling a bobble. It was Downey. It was Downey that was targeted on that play. And so this will bring up a 3rd and 6, and the Rigby fans are getting loud. They'd like a stop here. However, I think this is 4-down territory for the Capital Golden Eagles. I think if they don't get it here, that they'll try for it on 4th again. It's kind of that no man's land, man in motion. It's Walk. They give it to Walk. He breaks 1 tackle, hits another guy, drags a couple more, able to pick up about 3 yards, and it gives them really a manageable 4th down, as it'll be 4th and 3, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Wildcat from Walk.
Not at all. I mean, he was a great play right there by Walk. He gave him about 4-yard gain to make this a 4th and 3 right here.
Now we have 3 minutes left in the third quarter of play. 28-14 serial score. By this time in the first half, Rigby had used all 3 timeouts. They still got 2 of theirs left here in half number 2. And we are going to get a timeout. This one's going to come from Capital. I think Capital was upset that there was no encroachment call on that play. Avell Valley Construction, one of the premier horizontal construction companies in the Intermountain West. They specialize in all types of construction, including commercial, residential, and municipal projects. Avell Valley Construction takes pride in their expertise and ability to complete quality projects in a timely manner and within budget. The years of experience and local reputation deliver above the expectations of their customers with every project they undertake. Visit Avell Valley, that's AVAIL Valley.com. For more information, Avell Valley Construction wants to wish the Rigby boys good luck in today's game. And Jab Construction LLC is a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics, and they want to wish the boys good luck in today's game. 2:45 remaining in the third quarter of play, 28-14, your score. And Capital on a fourth and long three, short four. And it looks like we're looking at the Wildcat again with Walk. They're going to try to draw him off sides first. He looks over to see if they need a play change. No audible coming. He calls it. He takes it. He follows his man. He's close, but he does not get it. And it's going to be another turnover on downs. 2 possessions in a row where it's going to be a turnover on downs. And now Rigby will take over. He was within probably about a half yard, but unable to pick up the first down. And, maybe that particular play has run its course a little bit. And you got to maybe try a couple other things now. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line.
They've run the same play in short yard situations the whole game. Nothing different about it at all. And Rigby has finally figured it out and stopped it.
Yeah, that's the thing. At first it was working for him, but, eventually you got to, maybe mix it up just a little bit. From the shotgun, it's going to be Adolfo. Adolfo has one in the backfield, only one receiver right. However, he's got tight trips to the left, and that'll bring most likely Taylor Freeman on a streak post. No, he's going to cross the middle instead. And of course, they go to him as he is wide open. And finally, he's brought down. The Rigby fans want a personal foul penalty, and they're going to get it as number 21, Ethan Castillo, did not take lightly to that play, and he picked him up and body slammed him. And I think his arm just kind of laying limp on the ground, and we almost had a fight out on the field. As some of the players did not like that, as he was just absolutely slammed WWF style to the ground, picked up and thrown very hard. And I think we're probably going to see an ejection of Castillo here. I can't imagine he is going to stay in the ball game after this.
Yeah, I believe it was number 74, Togiai, standing up for his teammate right there, and that's a big guy.
Well, Togiai and Fredrickson were both out there, and now we got the emergency personnel on the field. You just saw his whole body was moving, but his right arm was just limp on the field. Speaking of Taylor Freeman, that would be a huge loss, and the unfortunate thing is that would be a huge loss if Taylor Freeman was out of the game, and it would also be a big loss for Capital if Castillo was thrown out of the game, because those are 2 of the top receivers for both teams.
Yeah, and Castillo's one of their starting corners too. So
Rigby fans wanting an ejection. We still have yet to show. It looks like it's going to be a personal foul penalty, but it came in so late, I don't know if it was on the slam or if it was after the play. So they're going to call it an unsportsmanlike. There's not going to be an ejection in the game. However, it's a 15-yard penalty. That one's going to take place from the spot of the foul, and it's going to move it down to the 33-yard line on the Capital side of the field, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Rigby. Well, things got a little interesting, 28-14, and there's some frustration out there from Capital right now as they've been in scoring position their last 2 possessions and have been unable to convert and turned it over on four downs.
Yeah, that can be very frustrating mentally.
Well, and then you go back to their last possession of the first half that they were in good scoring position, didn't score either. They've really had some significant opportunities. Now I see Castillo is still on the field. He's far side from where we stand as Rigby goes right to left as we see it and you hear it.
Yeah, the referees have to warn both offensive line and defensive line. Tell them to.
Well, you'd hate to see such a good played game from both these teams turn into a really chippy matchup. Adolfo gets it. The ball was snapped basically to his ankles. He had to scoop it up off the ground, picks up 3 yards on the play, and was really fortunate to get that. Bad snaps. We saw it, in last night's game, the 3A game with Sugar Salem and Marsh Valley, where snaps were just bad all game long, and it puts you a full second behind on the play. Well, a defender can cover a lot of ground in 1 second.
Yeah.
And when you're a full second off, that hurts. That's really the first bad snap, other than the one that went over the head on the punt earlier in the ball game. It's really the first bad snap that I've seen. So Adolfo again. This time he's going to hand off to Falavai. And we're going to get, this is I believe going to be a hold on the offense, and I believe this is going to be on Togiai.
Flag on the play. Falavai with the carry.
Yep, it is. It's going to be a hold, and I could see it with Togiai. He moved the hands from the inside of the shoulder pass to the outside, and I saw the official looking at it and called it immediately. And there's a few complaints from the fans, but nothing from the coaches. The coaches are coaching their players because they realize what it was. That's a 10-yard spot foul, moves it back and brings up a 2nd and 17. Now for the Rigby Trojans. Of course, last time they were 2nd and deep. They had a good pass that got him out into reasonable territory, but ended up having to punt. Now they go with the screen pass into the middle. Still remain on their feet, get a big chunk of the yardage back as they get down all the way just inside the 30-yard line, about the 29.
Great blocking on that play. It was a wide receiver screen, a little tunnel screen over to that far side, and great blocking by the offensive lineman. Get out there to that second level.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. They go with the hurry-up offense, try to catch the defenders off guard. They do have Freeman off the field still. He has not come back on since everything happened. Now we get another false start. This is going to end up a 3rd and 1.
Flag on the play.
Just, players really anticipating the snap and getting called off on both sides. But now a 3rd and 6. And they're going to call it. They're going to say it was a false start. In fact, what was interesting about that is it looked like encroachment. I didn't see a false start on the offense. It looked like encroachment. And but they ended up calling that on the offense. The encroachment on that looked like it was from Colin Drew, who comes in and is that fullback blocker for walk on offense. And but then they ended up saying that was a false start rather than an offsides, brings it back 3rd and 11. So what was going to be a 3rd and 1 is now 3rd and 11. Adolfo drops back. They pursue him in the backfield. He has a receiver. He's open. They're going to look to pick up the first down. They do so, and it's going to be 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line. Looks like he went to his check down receiver on that particular play, who ended up being number 6, Zeke Falavai. And Falavai picks up that first down. It's all the way down to about the 16-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10. We do have a player down on the field from Capital.
Yeah, Josh Summers got pancaked in the backfield, and left shoulder is a little hurt.
Briggs Still is a leading manufacturer of many. I'm going to start over on this. I was half watching what was going on the field. Briggs Still is leading manufacturer of many metal products. They're a family-owned business with 4 generations of experience in the metal industry. They specialize in steel roofing, steel siding, metal siding, and trim. Big Still stocks most colors and accessories for any steel roofing, metal roofing, or steel siding or metal siding projects. They're locally owned and operated out of Rigby, and they are here to serve you better. The team at Briggs Still wants to wish the boys good luck in tonight's game. And getting back up, finally, and they'll get this game being able to go again. Looks like players okay. Idaho Drug and Rigby, a tradition in pharmacy since 1947, where your health is their priority. Whether you need a prescription refilled, you can do that on their mobile app, or a gift for that special someone in your life. Visit Idaho Drug at 139 East Main Street for all of your pharmacy and drugstore needs. They also offer free local delivery. Idaho Drug is a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics and wants to wish the boys good luck in the state playoffs. And it looks like they're going to just run out the third quarter. Your score at the end of the third quarter, 28-14. Rigby over top of the Capital Golden Eagles, and Capital has just struggled to get the ball in the end zone. They've had 3 possessions with legitimate shots and opportunities to get in, have been unable to do it, and their score right now is doubled by Rigby, 28-14. It's Rigby's ball, and Rigby down on the 16-yard line. It will be 1st and 10 when quarter number 4 gets underway. Upper Valley Orthopedics is the Upper Snake River Valley's renowned state-of-the-art orthopedic and sports medicine clinic. Doctors Michael Larson, Kevin Lee, and Travis Torngren are board-certified orthopedic surgeons treating all conditions of the shoulder, elbow, hand, and wrist, hip, knee, foot, ankle, and sports-related injuries. Please visit for an appointment at 208-356-9550 or request online at uppervalleyortho.com. Upper Valley Orthopedics in Rexburg is a proud supporter of Rigby Athletics. And we come out to start quarter number 4. 12 minutes on the clock, 28-14. Should be an interesting fourth quarter. And right now, Rigby finds themselves in scoring position. The 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. They can pick up a first on the 6. Tiger Adolfo, the commit to Weber State, is going to be up under center. He's got 2 eligible receivers plus an eligible tight end here. Instead, he's going to hand it off to Falavai. Falavai breaks through 1 tackle and through a second one and gets down inside the 5-yard line. Picks up a first down. What a fantastic run. Falavai, he picks up that first down, and he was hit about 3 times. Did not go down.
Every single one of those tacklers hit him up high. You can't hit Falavai up high.
No, you can't. You got to take him low. And once again, we've got another player down on the field. We're starting to see some injuries arise now. People, I think most of them are just kind of those little testy injuries that you get. Size Realty, powered by Daiquiri Bernard Realty Group, is focused on providing you with real estate experience unlike any other. Rise Realty has a team of professionals that will provide you with specialized knowledge and solutions for even the toughest deals. As industry leader in innovation, Rise Realty's agents, they utilize new technologies that make the home buying and selling process a breeze, ensuring you have more time to catch all the Rigby Trojans' victories, and they say, go Trojans. They're back up now, down off the field. Rigby still over here on the sideline. I don't think it was a timeout. It's not. I mean, it was an injury timeout, but you can't remain in the huddle with your team for that long. Rigby took that as a full timeout, essentially. Falavai back on the field as well after that big run. It's 1st and goal from the 3-yard line for Rigby, already with a 28-14 lead. Looking to add to that here with 11:45 remaining in the ball game. Here from Rigby, Idaho, the only 5A game being played in the southeast side of the state. Rigby was down a man on the field. They just had 10. Now they have their 11th. From the shotgun. Looks like they're going to give it over to Falavai. And he gets in for the touchdown. I think it was, hey, buddy, here's your reward for doing what you did last time. As Adolfo gets the quick handoff to him and inside. Moves our score out 34-14. Extra point pending, I should say. Rigby fans now have a lot to cheer for. They find themselves up 34-14. And finally the kicker makes it out onto the field.
The holder.
Actually, the holder. The kicker was out there on the sideline. Everyone's waving. Where's our holder? Where's our holder? Extra kick is up. Extra kick is no good as it goes wide right. That time we've seen wide left and wide right. And with 11:20 remaining in the ballgame, it's a 20-point lead, 14-34. As the hometown Rigby Trojans, they're hoping to get on to the next round for the 3rd consecutive year. More and more people in Rigby are choosing Madison Memorial Hospital for themselves and for their families. Madison Memorial is a fundamental part of this community. Its Rigby's roots go way back. In fact, many of the nurses and doctors and healthcare professionals who work at Madison Memorial today live right in Rigby, and they're big Trojan fans. Let me tell you, next time or someone in your family needs state-of-the-art medical care, that's close to home with a personal touch that comes from being staffed by your own Rigby neighbors, just go to Madison Memorial. You'll be so glad that you did. And now Rigby going to get the kickoff, or going to take the kickoff here. Now with a much more commanding lead, 34-14, and really the story of the game for Capital has just been missed opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And miscommunication and all of that as well. You know, they've gotten inside the 20 about 3 times.
This is going to go into the end zone, where it'll come back out to the 20-yard line. It'll come out of the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for Capital. It's been a real challenge for Capital to be able to get up and pick up scores. They've been in 3 times. They've been in good scoring position and unable to convert. And a lot of that's been Rigby defense. You know, it's been good defense down inside. Both teams have tended to move the ball really well, throughout the thick of the field. But Rigby's defense has been stellar down tight. This pass goes out to the outside by Clark, and I think it was intended for Avery Downey. And Downey, there was some kind of miscommunication, as Downey didn't even know it was coming his way, and brings up a 2nd and 10. And if you're Rigby now, you got to really start moving the ball downfield, because you're 3 scores behind. That's 3 touchdowns behind. And the only error you could do is possibly miss an extra point on one of them to tie up a game.
Yeah, that far side slot corner blew that play up over there.
Coming to the outside, it's going to be Olsen. Olsen goes and is hit, but not before he picks up the 1st down. He gets out, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for the Capital Golden Eagles. Capital High School right there in Boise, been there a long time. Of course, the Boise schools, Boise, Bora, Capital, and then, of course, in the Valley itself, you also got Meridian, Mountain View, Owyhee now is a new school, Rocky Mountain, Eagle, Timberline. Pass goes to the outside and brought down. I believe that went out to Cherry. It was. That was Cherry on the play. Picks up about 3 yards on the play. Brings up a 2nd, long 6, short 7.
Yeah, this Rigby defense has showed up the second half. To make Max check down every single time. That's really good.
Well, and I think, we talked about the importance of halftime adjustments, and I think it's obvious that Rigby made the better halftime adjustments. And now getting kind of stuck in the backfield, finding his check down receiver as he goes outside to Cherry, and Cherry gets knocked out of bounds and loses a yard. And bring up a 3rd down. Looks like they're going to give him back to the line of scrimmage. We'll call 3rd and 7 still. Down to 10 minutes even remaining in the ball game. Rigby with a couple subs coming in.
Yeah, this Rigby front 7 has looked really, really good. They've gotten into the backfield multiple times these past couple drives.
Cody Walk lines up as a receiver this time rather than a tight end. 1 in the backfield. Plus Clark, single right, and he's in single coverage on the right, and they'll go to him, and he's open, and 1st down as the pass and catch was completed for Eagle. Not quite sure who they targeted on that play. Oh, it looks like that was number 1, Downey. So Downey with the reception on the play, and those are the kind of things that Capital's gonna have to do if they want to get back into this ball game. And then they've got to make some defensive stops as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
And that's
pass.
something they've just struggled to do here in half number 2. As Olsen gets the handoff, gets about 9 yards on the play, bring up a 2nd and 1. For Capitals. They're going to go in the no-huddle situation as well. That gives you kind of a good advantage in the sense of, the old school days when everything was a huddle afterwards. This allows you to kind of move the ball a little bit quicker. Trips right, singles left. Got away with a false start on the play. However, it's Olsen. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's up. That's it. Brings up a 3rd and 2. Long 1, short 2 for Capital.
Maybe on the 39. Cross the yard, 3rd and 2.
from the shotgun. It's Clark. Max Clark trips right, single left into the backfield. He's going to toss it over. It's going to be a first down for Olsen. Olsen breaks through the defense, gets down the right side, still on his feet. Finally knocked down inside the 9-yard line. He's actually going to be on the 11. So it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 11, which means they can still pick up a first down on the 1-yard line should need be. It looked like he got down inside of it, but the official ran over to the 11. He must have stepped out of bounds, or it's on the far side of the field.
Yeah, I believe he stepped out of bounds, but once again, they're getting him outside, broke through a couple arm tackles, and got down. What a beautiful run. Blocking downfield as well by the wide receivers.
Yeah. Go with a no huddle again. Now they got twins right, trips left one more time. Nobody in the backfield other than Max Clark. Max backs up. He's being pursued. However, he's got a man on dang near intercepted where that happened to be thrown. It was intended for Downey again, but really where it was thrown, if anybody was going to catch it, it actually would have been the defender that had the better look at it.
Yeah, the defender almost got 2 hands on it. Almost. I was really surprised that Max actually targeted that receiver over there. He was really well covered.
Well, and now he's got Walk back in his traditional tight end position. He pulls off. They're going to go back in this play and give it to Olsen as Walk becomes a blocker. He's going to pick up 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. Once again, they can still pick up a first down before a score, but it's down on the 1-yard line where they can do so. This is usually Cody Walk territory. Walk goes tight end. Man in motion, it's Garcia. Garcia out to the right side. Max goes down in the backfield. He gets closed in on very, very quickly. I believe that was either Ryder Thompson or Luke Flower. Pardon me, not Flower, or Hunter Nild. That was actually Nild, Hunter Nild, and Hunter Nild is the one that on the blocked punt earlier in the game scooped it up and ran it in for a touchdown. That was on Capital's first possession. And that was right after Rigby had scored on their own first possession. 7:19 remaining. Now it's 4th and Rexburg. Max Hall flushed out of the pocket, goes to the right side, has a man in the corner, tosses it up. It's too deep. And for the 3rd time this half, they will turn it over on downs in scoring position.
If you count it all together between the first half and the second half, 3 this second half, it was 3 that first half.
Well, you can see why they averaged 40-plus points a ball game. But 3 times this half, plus you go back to the last possession of the first half where they were unable to score on that particular one. And the first half, it ended up being a missed field goal. But, however, these 3 in the second half have all been turnovers on downs. And they've been in scoring position each and every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it hasn't been, much change to that offensive. It's either been a Cade walk direct snap or shots to the end zone.
Well, Rigby now really sniffing that semifinal round. As here in the quarters, they're playing to get to the next round and face either Mountain View or Meridian. We have not had an update on that score yet. However, you can go to IdahoSports.com, go on Friday Night Flash, and you'll be able to find updates on scores around the state here in the playoffs, all the way 5A down to 1A Division II. We do have some games played tomorrow on Saturday, and we opened the quarterfinal round with a 3A game in the Dome last night. There's a pickup of 3 yards on the play, that by Falavai. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if Rigby keeps us on the ground the rest of this game.
So I've done many games here at Rigby over the years, and they finally put a top on a roof over the upper top here. I have been here in windy games, snowy games, rainy games, and there's not a drop of wind out here today, and this happens to be the one that we have the cover for. Pass goes out to the side, and it's the first time that Con Danzy, that we've called his name in a long time, we called it in the first half. And Danzy here in half number 2, now getting in on the action as he picks up a first down. Ball goes out to the 27-yard line, 1st and 10 Trojans.
Yeah, he was a big part of the first half. You're correct. We haven't called his name in a while, huh?
No. It just, they've gone with the places where they felt like they've had some mismatches. And early on they targeted him. And since then it's been a little bit of a challenge to get it to him, but they got it to him this time. It's going to be Falavai. And he breaks through the defense. He's still on his feet. He's out towards the 50-yard line, still on his feet, and finally hit and dragged down by Capital's number 2, Caden Mastretti. And Mastretti, he gets drug about another 10 yards. And again, you just can't tackle Falavai that high on a play. And he gets all the way down into Capital territory on the 36-yard line. 1st and 10, and they go with the quick offense, trying to catch the defense off guard. They go right back to him. He cuts it up, and he's going to pick up another about 6 or 7 yards on this play. It is 7 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 3.
Yeah, we just said that we haven't called Danzy's name in a while. Those last 2 plays, Danzy has opened up a hole for him to go through. And great blocking right there by that offensive lineman to open up those holes.
So 2nd and long 3, short 4 from the shotgun again. It's going to be Tiger Adolfo. In the backfield, Falavai. They're going to give it to him again as he's been the horse that they've ridden here in the second half. He pops to the outside. He's got some sideline to go and finally is knocked out of bounds. Gets knocked out of bounds, that time by number 27, Victor Bayandombi. And Bayandombi knocks him out down around the 10-yard line where I can't tell if it's just right outside of the 10 or on the 10. If it's on the 10, it's going to be a 1st and goal, and it is, in fact, going to be 1st and goal. So they've got to get in. They can't get a first down without it, without getting in for the touchdown. This time the handoff takes him inside the 5-yard line. Falavai again. So he gets down, and I'll tell you what, he has been their horse in the second half, and that's really why they haven't targeted a lot of others. We did have, Freeman that was targeted, and then he got picked up and body slammed. He has not been back in the ball game since that time either, and we actually have not seen Castillo back as he was replaced by number 27, who had the tackle on the previous play. And out to the outside, it's Falavai. He gets in. He picks up the touchdown. Pardon me, that was a quarterback keeper on that play. Tiger Adolfo steps in for the touchdown, moving the score out 40-14. And with 4:24 left in this ball game, it would be a serious miracle for Capital to be able to come out with a victory in this. 40-14, extra point pending. Last extra point was missed right. You hear the cannons going off for the Rigby Trojans. Rigby would love to get another shot at that state championship that they were so close to last year. They won the year before. And this extra point is up, and this extra point is good. So 4:24 remaining in the ball game. 41-14 is your score. Fall River Propane serves all of the Upper Valley as well as Island Park. And they do that with the highest quality, hottest burning propane at competitive prices. Our industry-trained and certified service staff offers more than 70 years of experience. Fall River Propane Services all makes the models of propane fireplaces and stoves, and we install home comfort systems and on-demand propane water heaters. Fall River Propane is your full-service propane provider for home and businesses. Check them out at fallriverpropane.com or simply call them at 1-800-632-5726. That's fallriverpropane.com. Experience the difference. Thank you to Fall River Propane and their sponsorship. They help bring these games to you live and free here on IdahoSports.com. That's Tanner and Josh McGauley bringing you this game tonight here. 4:24 remaining, 41-14. I think we can say that that Rigby is going to move on to the semifinal round.
Yeah, that's pretty safe to say, up by 4 touchdowns.
And this one might go out of bounds again. Nope, it goes into the end zone. Boy, they've been very close to going into the end zone. One actually went out of bounds where Capital took it on the 35-yard line earlier in this ball game. This takes us out. 4:24 once again.
I don't know if that kicker's their punter or not, but he sure needs to be. He has a very much addiction to that 1-yard line.
Hoffman Auto Body Repair in Boise is a full-service collision repair shop. From major collision damage to small dents, they specialize in all aspects of auto body. Hoffman Auto Body works with all insurance, and they handle claims for you. Hoffman Auto Body Repair, doing it right since 1958. Know someone looking for a rewarding job and a fun atmosphere? Well, look no further than Hoffman Auto Body. They can stop in at 3977 West State Street in Boise and fill out an application. And now we got a handoff by Capital. It's going to go to Olson. And Olson's going to pick up about 6 yards on the play. We'll actually call it closer to, we're going to give it 6. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for Capital. Capital, just so many missed opportunities. They've, if you look on the stat sheet, as Olson now picks up another first down for them, if you look on the stat sheet and that's all you read, you would think that they had 35, 40 points put up on the board. Yep. They've been able to move the ball effectively tonight, but at the end, you have to have more points on the scoreboard than the other team, and they just have been unable to punch the ball consistently into the end zone. From the shotgun, Max Clark again goes across the middle. Jerry, the intended target on that play. Pardon me, that was Garcia, intended target on that play. We have not seen Castillo back in the ball game since the body slam incident, and maybe he was tossed. We don't know. He was on the field for just a moment, but then he hasn't played any plays since.
Might have been a coach's decision.
Yeah, it might have been a coach's decision because we did not see the officials give an ejection on that play. Pass goes out to Cherry on the far right side, picks up about 4 yards on the play, brings up a 3rd. Actually, we'll give him 5, 3rd and 5 on the play. Max Clark has looked very, very good at times tonight. He's also had some challenges at different times. He's been pressured in the backfield most of the evening, Josh.
He really has, but I have to give credit to him. He has looked really good so far tonight. And
he gets a pass out once again, a tackle that the tackle aids in picking up the first down. This time it's Garcia on the outside, and it'll be 1st and 10 from what looks to be about the 42-yard line on the Capital side of the field. Now down to 3 minutes of play, 41-14 your score. Rigby on top of the Golden Eagles from Capital. For the longest time, I didn't know they were the Golden Eagles. I always just thought they were the Eagles. As we got a long pass downfield and an open receiver. Pass is no good, as the attempt all the way down the field was to Avery Downey, and certainly he would have scored a touchdown if that pass would have been on, as he was about a good 15 yards out ahead of the corner and the safety that came over to help on that play.
I think he was a little too wide open for Max.
Might have been. And the pass was really good. He was just slightly unable to catch up with it fully enough to catch the ball.
Yeah, but that Rigby defense is the second time somebody's been 15 or more yards behind their safeties.
Rigby fans down here were just chanting back to Boise. They anticipate going out there to the Valley to play next week. And now Olson picks up 4 yards on the play, brings up a 3rd and 6, 2:41 remaining. Once again, Rigby plays the winner. We'll play the winner of the Mountain View versus Meridian game. Meridian Warriors and Mountain View Mustangs. That was a tight game early in the season, first game for both teams. It came down to a 1-point game, 14-13. Mountain View, your number 1 ranked team in the state, ended up winning that. Mountain View knocked off Rocky Mountain twice this year, who is your reigning 5A state champions, as they beat them twice during the regular season. Rocky Mountain also playing tonight. They're in the bottom half of the bracket. Rocky Mountain's taking on Highland, and Coeur d'Alene taking on Eagle tonight as well. It's a 4th and 1. Max Clark had it. He gets it out to his receiver. And that is good. And that actually goes to Castillo. So Castillo is still out there as Castillo gets the reception. Picks up the first down, 1st and 10. Now they're in Rigby territory. And Max Clark with it. He runs, he slides. He's down to the 40-yard line where he gave himself up. It will be now 2nd and 6 with just under 2 minutes, minute 56 to be exact, in the ball game. 41-14 as Rigby's going to go on to win this ball game. But Capital, who's playing with a lot of pride, they'd love to get in and put another score up on the board. These seniors Would love to do that to end their season. Got men downfield, great protection in the backfield, open receivers. Clark couldn't find him. Finally, he goes to his check down receiver, and he goes out of bounds. It is Olson. Picks up about 4 more yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
You know, you got to give Capital some credit, though. They have marched down the field every single drive.
Capital has been phenomenal tonight. I mean, for the most part, they've matched Rigby stride for stride, with the difference of Rigby's been able to capitalize and Capital has not.
Yep.
Now lining up as a receiver is going to be Walk. And then running and picking up the first down, it's going to be Clark. So Max Clark picks it up, and he's on the 32-yard line, 1st and 10 on the Rigby side of the field. Buck and a half on the clock. Now change set, clock running again. Under a minute and a half. From the shotgun, twins right, twins left, one in the backfield, man in motion. It's Garcia. Garcia will be the check down receiver. They go deep instead. They go to the end zone. It's going to be Castillo, and it bounces off his chest. Very catchable ball for Castillo. And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. I think that I thought for a moment they might come down to the check down receiver, who was Garcia, in motion. They end up going deep into the end zone. It was a great pass. I mean, you couldn't have thrown it any better. Good choice on the play. Good read by Max Clark. Just unable, well, once again, the thing that's plagued them all night is just unable to capitalize on a consistent basis. They did it twice, couldn't do it anymore. And we'll see what they can do here on 2nd and 10. Once again, drops to the back. Scoots out to the left side, looks down. He's going to keep it instead. He's going to look to get to the out of bounds sideline. He does, the near sideline by us. Max Clark gets down around the 28-yard line. That will bring up a 3rd and 5 for Capital.
Yeah, if you had looked up just a little bit later before he decided to run, he had Avery in the back of the end zone running. But those are things that we see up here, and he'll look at the film and be able to go from there. But
yeah. Well, stay tuned after the game, where we'll give you some post-game thoughts, as well as your IdahoSports.com player of the game. Bobbled snap, ends up on the ground. Clark falls on it. It's going to bring up a 4th and about 11, 4th and 10, where he fell on it. It kind of, is summing up the way this game is feeling now. It's actually going to end up. No, that was 4th down. Pardon me. So it is 4th down now. They're kind of messing up on the marker down there. It's a digital marker, and they changed it to 1st. So I thought, do we have another turnover on downs? They're certainly going to go for it here on 4th down. There's a timeout by Eagle. But yeah, stay after for our IdahoSports.com player of the game. That'll be picked solely by Josh and myself.
There's plenty of options on this.
Yeah, we've had a few people vying for it, and we're sure that that's why they've had the performances they've had, is because they wanted to be the IdahoSports.com player of the game.
They knew it.
We're under a minute to go, 56.9 seconds to be exact, here on a chilly night, but a beautiful one. Wind-free in southeast Rigby, Idaho.
Thank goodness it's wind-free. I'm already cold.
Yeah.
I'm from the south. This is a little different.
Now on the shotgun, and now he's about an extra yard deep on the shotgun is Clark. He's got trips right, trips left, single right, pardon me. So Olson in the backfield as his check down. He's going to look downfield now. He has a man. He looks. It's going to be intercepted, and the ball is being returned from the interception. Can't quite see yet who intercepted the ball. I want to say it looked like it was number 23, Riker Kirkham, the strong safety, and I believe it was
27, Reggie Groom. Reggie Groom with the interception to end this ball game.
That interception, that takes us down to a spot where even with the one timeout that Capital has, I think we're just going to see Rigby come out and nil on the ball. And this game will go into the books at 41-14, and barring some unforeseen circumstances. Still do not have an update yet on the Mountain View Meridian score. We'll try to give you that, because the winner of this ball game, who will be Rigby, will play the winner of that ball game. Handoff goes up the middle. It's going to be good enough for about a 7-yard gain on the play as we get some of the backup players in the ball game now. That looked to me to be, I believe that was number 30, Peyton Klinger, just a sophomore running back. It is, and that's going to take our game down as we are Winding down now under 20 seconds. And boy, what a good game. And we have a shocker from the Boise Valley as Meridian knocks off number 1 Mountain View 35-6. Now we will have to see if Rigby hosts Meridian. Had Mountain View have won, Rigby would have to have traveled to the Boise Valley. However, with Meridian winning that ball game and Rigby being the higher seed, wow, what a shocker, 35-6. This game final, as it goes final here, will be 41-14. And right now, and here's another potential shocker. I said this was going to be a good game tonight. Highland goes to Boise Valley, plays at Rocky Mountain and knocks off Rocky Mountain 22-21. And at the half, Eagle was leading Coeur d'Alene 10-7. So what a couple shockers. So our second round matchups are, at least half of them are made, as it'll be Meridian and Rigby. Not sure who's going to be hosting that game. And then Highland will move on as well in the 5A playoffs. We're going to take a quick break here on IdahoSports.com. We'll be back with some afterthoughts and IdahoSports.com's player of the game.
I'm Dr. Christine Hahn. I'm an infectious disease doctor, and I'm Idaho's medical director for public health. It's my mission to keep our communities healthy and safe. That's why I believe every Idahoan should get their COVID-19 vaccine. The vaccine's been tested. It's proving to be very safe, and it's the most effective tool we have to stop the spread.
Walk into a pharmacy or visit covidvaccine.idaho.gov to find your free COVID-19 vaccine.
Rigby High School. The Trojans will move on 41-14 with a win over Capital out of the Boise Valley. A game that was really, Josh, as it comes down to it, we'll just give a few thoughts on this. Capital had plenty of opportunities. Both teams very similar in total yardage. But Capital, again, really the theme of this game as it comes to an end is what you would simply call missed opportunities, as Coach Todd Simas ends out his coaching career, as he announced this would be his last year at Capital. And Capital played a good ball game. That's a very good team, but you've got to score, and that's what Rigby did and what Capital didn't do.
Yeah, I mean, leading up throughout this whole season, Capital, they were scoring offense. We saw them move the ball down this field, and they were no joke when it comes to that. And, the games that they lost, they didn't score more than 15 points, and that's the same thing here. And so, capitalization was the major factor here, and Rigby took advantage of it and scored 41.
Well, they did. They will move on and play Meridian. And Meridian, who just laid a shellacking on the number 1 ranked team in the state, Mountain View, tonight. And again, we're not quite sure who is going to be hosting that game. Rigby is the higher seed, and both teams played in close locations tonight, so there's not going to be any travel restrictions that I'm aware of in that game, but we will find out where that game will take place. So the only thing we have left now is the IdahoSports.com player of the game. And who is it?
It's going to be Mr. Falavai.
Yeah, what a great performance. Yeah. What did he do for us tonight?
Yeah, so Mr. Falavai, he rushed for over 100 yards, had a couple rushing touchdowns of 2 yards and 3 yards, and he was the workhorse for this Rigby team. He has been all year. And he showed out in this quarterfinal, right? Quarterfinal.
Boy, that's and what a fantastic performance he gave us tonight. Fantastic. Well, this has been an IdahoSports.com game streams production of the 2021 Idaho State Football Tournament. This coverage is presented by the Idaho Division of Public Health, your local Toyota dealer, Valley-wide Co-op, and Country Stores, as well as Project Filter, Stop Smoking, and Start Living. We'd also like to thank all of our local sponsors whose ads we read tonight in the game. Thanks again, or congratulations again to Mr. Falavai as he becomes our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Thanks for joining us as the Rigby Trojans knock off the Capital Golden Eagles in the quarterfinals of the state championships by a score of 41-14. For my broadcast partner, Mr. Josh Magali, And everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, my name is Lance Taylor, saying so long till next time.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com Game Streams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the